Yes, and well, a few key players out there. I see Barlow, a name that unfamiliar to me. He's out there in the middle and playing on Carl Norman, is it? No, he's actually, sorry, he'll be playing on Blake Campbell. So Barlow and Campbell together. I see Carl Norman's in the centre there. He'll be going up in the ruck duel against the player in Jake Cowman. It's all in readiness.
Okay, here we go. It is round 2. The ball thrown up for the very first time, and Cowman and Norman go at it. The ball comes to ground with no clear advantage to either side. United take it away though. They go from left to right on your radio dial. Kick towards Travis Eddy's direction. But what can they do? In fact, it was Marupna going forward, and now United from half-back take it away around the scoreboard side of the ground. Couple of possessions, and now a kick away into the right half-forward flank. Punched away there by the Marupna defenders towards the boundary line. In pursuit of the footy is Matt Fories. Tries to shepherd to provide a teammate with a clear avenue from the boundary, but it's over the boundary line and will be thrown in 55 metres around from the Shep United goals. They are going to the left on your radio dial.
Boundary throw in, half-forward flank. The Demons slightly into attack now. It's snaffled off the top by that player in Sam Dawes, who kicks it forward and finds McClarty, it is, down there at full forward. Now that's an interesting one, Nippo.
It is, yeah. They've gone Grant McClarty up at full forward, which would throw Marupna out a little bit. You'd expect him to start back on one of the key Marupna forwards, but no, Grant McClarty gone forward.
So Dawes, as you mentioned in the pre-match there, Wes, prominent early as he was last week, getting the quick snap around the pack, and it was McClarty, traditionally a defender, is marked 30 metres out, directly in front here, kicking to the Skene Street end here at Deakin Reserve. Right foot kick on its way, and he doesn't kick it like a defender, he kicks it like he's been there all the time, and it's through for full points to Grant McClarty, and the Demons with the first on the board on the H.W. Greenham & Sons scoreboard.
Yeah, great start for United there. They Marupna got it forward through Blake Campbell, but good defence. Took it around the scoreboard side, and good use of body by McClarty. Just edged out his opponent and took a nice mark about 30 metres out.
Well, the first of the clearances with Marupna there on that occasion. They went forward, but good work by Travis Eddy, marshalling the troops and able to bring the ball out from half-back, and really did provide the first line of attack there.
And he's playing loose in defence too, Eddie.
Yeah, he is the senior captain for the Demons as Norman and Cowman go at it again. Again, no clear advantage to either side. The ball at ground level. It's the Cats again with a takeaway via that player there in Learmont. His kick is travelling only so far as that spare man in Eddie, who immediately comes laterally to the commentary side of the ground, kicks to a teammate. There's a number of United players fill in the cold because it's that player there in Steve Scott with the long sleeves. He kicks inside 50 now to the hot spot. Oh, McClarty on the lead, almost took the mark. It's Norman getting back though, providing some assistance. Here's a kick around the body by Tyson Sidebottom. It is a little too acute, work towards the boundary line, and eventually over on the bounce will be thrown in just 5 metres around from the Shep United left behind post. It's United 1 straight 6, leading the Cats yet to score.
Yes, H.W. Greenham & Sons scoreboard. We've just been playing a few minutes into this first term, and there's a whistle on the throw-in and a free kick given in the United forward line, and it will be a, well, not a gimme, but it'll be 25 metres out, and it'll be Cowman to be given the free kick over the shoulder in the boundary throw-in. So I'm assuming it was against Norman, although I can't actually pick out Norman at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely was against Norman there, yep.
And so a free kick to the United ruckman, and he'll line up just 25 metres out, not much of an angle to speak of. So Jake Cowman, in he comes, chance to put the Demons 2 straight goals, and he has steered it right through the middle, and the Demons lead by 2 goals here in round 2 in the match of the day on 98.5 1FM, leading the Cats yet to score.
That doesn't do something there, Potsy. 2 centre clearances to Marupna, but Travis Eddy sitting back loose in defence has cut that off nearly both times there, so they're obviously playing a loose man defence United, which they have done over the last couple of years. Marupna maybe need to bring their loose man maybe down at the moment, which is Brad Campbell down the other end.
Yeah, well, Eddie has, well, he's had a part in each of the 2 goals so far, as Cowman's back in the middle now, goes up against his opponent there for Marupna and Norman, and he won the ball to his team's advantage, although no clear possession, and immediately the player is wrapped up in the tackle, and the umpire calls for a secondary ball up in the middle of Deakin Reserve, just to the United advantage. It's United leading 2 straight to Marupna yet to score, as the ball knocked away, taken away by United. The kick around the body there on that occasion was by Barlow. His kick to the advantage of Sidebottom couldn't take the mark. It's going to be the Cats to clear, although the kick smothered. Here's an opportunity. McClarty's down there, so too a teammate in that player in Robert Smith. It is Marupna desperately trying to take the ball out of defensive 50. The throw called, and the free kick will go the way of the Cats at centre half back. And just spot up that player for the Cats. Can't quite make out who he is, but he's got a teammate through to the field, and taking the mark there for Mooroopna is Luke LeBrock. Now LeBrock kicks the ball to right half forward and finds Campbell. That's in fact it's Jared Best. Jared Best has got a lead. It's Singh on the lead, hits him on the chest. Beautifully weighted pass, and Jared. Well, that mark has been taken by big Balraj Singh, pretty much directly in front, centre half forward. His side trailing by 2 goals, but we'd imagine the big cat who booted 6-7 last week, if he can be on target, he can really make an impression early in this game, and this is one that the Cats will desperately look to get back. It's 5 minutes on the time clock as Singh, no angle to speak of, comes in now. It's a lovely kick off the boot. It just drifts a little to the left. I think it's good enough though. Yes, indeed it is, and there's the first goal on the board to Mooroopna. Kick by Singh, his first, and they are 1 goal straight. United 2 goals straight, 12, and that is, of course, on the HW Greenham & Sons scoreboard. 6 points the margin enjoyed by United.
Yeah, very good switch of play by Mooroopna there that brought it out in the grandstand side, found Jared Best, who got in front of his opponent there in Daniel Godsmark, and a great lead by Big Singh. Great kick by Daniel Best, though, hit him on the chest.
Yeah, superb precision passing there by Best, and the Cats are back in this game. Norman wins this down defensive side, but it was defensive because there were a host of demons there. They get it up forward. Out comes McClarty on a lead. He hand passes backward to Hazelman. Hazelman dishes it off. There's a chain of hand passes here, but the demons aren't really sure of them. The free kick now being picked out by umpire Hughes, and it'll go to the way of United, and suggesting it was a head high, and it will be Barlow for the demons to line up. He'll probably kick from about 48, 47 metres, so this will test him, but haven't seen how far he can kick. He kicks right on 49 metres out. It does test him, but it's swinging back on the breeze, and just wait on the goal umpire here. It has come back right to left, and it is a goal, so a great goal there by Barlow.
Yeah, a bit silly there from young Luke LeBrock. The handball came over the top and he continued on with the bump, and yeah, jumped into him. No need for that. The disposal's gone. Yeah, no need to be jumping into a player after he's handballed, and that was a bit of a silly free kick.
So the answer from the Demons, 3 goals straight, 18, leading Mooroopna 1 goal straight, 6 points, and that's on the HW Greenham & Sons scoreboard. We've been playing about 9 minutes into this first term here. Round 2 action on 98.5 FM.
Yes, Norman and Cowman again. Cowman wins it away with a little deft knock to his team's advantage, although Mooroopna with first hands on the footy immediately wrapped up in the tackle, and will have a secondary ball up right in the middle of Deakin Reserve. It's 18 plays 6 with the Demons leading as the big boys go at it again. Bit of a hold on this occasion called by the umpire. Will go the way of Cowman. He looks for the handball immediately, but then chooses to kick. Now he kicks straight down the middle of Deakin Reserve. He's got McClarty on the lead, takes the mark, 2 bites of the cherry, not paid by the umpire, must have been touched. Calls umpire Craig Potter from the commentary position, and the ball will be now in the hands of the umpire, thrown up at centre half forward for the Demons. A few words being spoken. McClarty pulling his opponent off as there's a bit of niggle going on. He what?
There's a report here.
There's a report.
Yeah, it looks like the...
well, let's go boundary side. Yeah, the card is out as we go boundary side to Christy Parker.
Yeah, I can't quite see who's actually going to get the card. I think it might even be McClarty there.
The boy they call Modra, I think.
Yes, well that was going to be my point. He's getting up there in the air, but he's affectionately known as Modra by his teammates. I think in some reference to Tony Modra as a young kid.
Okay, well it looks like it is going to go the way of the Cats, and McClarty is getting the card, and the number's going down in the book, so it's a worrying sign there, I'd imagine, Nipper, because of course we saw that, yes, he's got the yellow card, so he's off for 15.
Yep, and Laporta to get the free.
Yep, Laporta with the kick.
But what a silly time to do it, Potts. Like, there's a great start now to play with 17 for 15 minutes.
Hasn't always been known for his cool head despite the lack of hair, Grant McClarty, so just probably in the old-fashioned term, probably got sucked in there, Nipper. And Laporta with the ball now, and he kicks it out to the back pocket, finds the running player there in Dan Collier. Collier it is with a little 9-iron chip kick, and he finds a teammate there also in Learmonth. Kicked into the man, into his teammate. Fortunately, a rebounds to come back to Collier for the Cats. So right in front of the commentary position, the kick was astray, and Robert Osborne sees it over the line for a boundary throw-in right below our commentary position. We've been playing 11 minutes into the first term in this match of the day, round 2. It's the Demons by 12 points over the Cats, and boundary throw-in right centre wing.
And the big fellas go at it again. The ball fisted to ground, although it is Dawes doing the crumbing for United. Oh, copying a high tackle in there was that Mooroopna player in Jeff Vandermeer, but eventually the umpire calls for it. And he will ball it up again right in front of us here in the commentary position. 18 plays 6, United with the advantage. We've gone 9 minutes on the time clock as Norman and Cowman with the mighty leap, but no clear advantage to either side. The ball comes out to Mooroopna's advantage through Tremellin. He can't get a clean possession away. Wrapped up between a couple of players. A share and share. The umpire says, boys, I'll have it again. The ball again in front of us in a commentary position. So it's pretty tight in the clinches there, Nipper.
It is. It's yeah. Mooroopna probably had a little bit better of the clearances so far, but a lot of players around the ball. Mooroopna not capitalising when they're getting the ball out of their clearances.
And umpire Bull calling for the blood rule, so a quick change here, and the Cats will go down to Christy Piker on the boundary line just to tell us who's coming off and who's going on.
Yes, Luke LeBrock's just come off from Mooroopna. Shane Gemmell going on. Just got a bit of blood on his shirt, so I think he's just getting his left elbow strapped up and so forth, and I'm sure he'll be back on the field pretty soon.
Play back underway here, centre wing. The Cats almost stole a quick break, but it was good work in the clinches. Actually, there's another kick by one of the Cats that goes into the back of one of his teammates. The ball's, well, it's holding the ball, and the free kick has been given to the Demons, Stephen Scott. So centre wing, he's run down from behind and caught. So a lack of talk there by the Demons. The turnover by the Cats. Here they go now. Paul Neville will run inside 50. He steers goalward. He lines them up and he kicks it home. The Cats on the rebound do major damage, and they trail by a goal now here at Deakin Reserve.
Patsy, I'm not sure about that. Was Scotty playing on? I just thought he was running up to take his kick and run down from behind.
He didn't appear to run off his line, did he?
No, I thought actually when the tackle comes from behind that'd be 50, but that's good luck for Mooroopna. They turned it over, and not much Sheffield United could do there. There was players loose, of course, but great chase down by Jared Best and a great finish by Paul Neville.
Well, of course, our listeners will be able to get a chance to have a look at that on news.macmedia.com.au. Highlights of the game featuring on Monday on the Shep News website. And I agree with you boys entirely. I really concur that I didn't think that was play on at all, but nonetheless, it's gone the way of the Cats, and now the margin back to just 6 points on the H.W. Greenham and Sons scoreboard. 18 plays 12. United continue to lead. The ball thrown up again. Here they go, though. United, they get it out and they come towards the commentary wing. Opportunity for United to take a mark. Not quite hauling it in there was Stephen Scott. He was the player that was tackled in that last contest. Gets it across to Eddie eventually. He goes on the left half forward flank, and a good solid mark taken despite the duress bearing down on him by Still Harford. He gets it across to Stephen Scott, who's been prominent early, goes to the hot spot. He's got a couple of targets. Cowman's one of them. Ball comes to ground. Bursting through the pack though is Blake Campbell for the Cats. Looping handball out over the top to Vandermeer's advantage. He gets a kick away on the left to the scoreboard side of the ground. Dawes is the only player in the vicinity. He eventually gets it, tries to avoid the tackle from Brad Campbell. He's taken over the line, and it will be thrown in the United side of centre on the scoreboard side of the ground. United 3 straight 18, leading Mooroopna 2 straight 12.
And the Cats seem to be doing well in close quarters. They're breaking it up with their handball, but conversely, they're just letting themselves down at the crucial times. Blake Campbell's had a lot of it. He dishes out a quick hand pass, but then the kick is chopped off for the Demons there by Barlow, who goes inboard and he finds Dawes, and that was a good mark, but they've gained no further ground. The Demons still centre wing and still leading by 6 points midway through this first term. Your match of the day on FM 98.5. The Demons lead by 6 points as the kick by Dawes, it's a big one, inside 50 it goes, no one home. The race is on, the foot race now on for the Demons, and here's Tyson side bottom, but he has missed with the snapshot and through for one behind. The first minor of the day, and it's United 3 goals 1-19. The Cats, Mooroopna 2 straight 12 on the H.W. Greenham and Sons scoreboard.
Oh, Nipper, he looks like an exciting player. I wouldn't have been surprised if he'd nailed that one.
Yeah, just pretty rushed deflection. He maybe could have straightened up. I think he might have straightened up on his right, but he went to the left and just missed.
Campbell's kick in goes to Vandermeer, and then in turn he finds a teammate coming out to the right half-back flank in Boyer. Boyer goes inside the corridor now. His target was Learmont, who goes on the left. He's got a target the offensive side of centre. Heavy contest there, and trying to burst through the pack was Robbins. As we see the ball spill out to the advantage of Kendall. Kendall tries to get a kick away, but he can't, and eventually it's Steve Hazelman seizing the opportunity. He goes to the scoreboard side of the ground via Godsmark. Godsmark now will take United into attack. His little kick is finding a target there in Barlow. Barlow has the ball at 50. We'll just take this shot on goal, and then we'll go to Paul Cox at Seymour for a report score from that big clash between the Lions and the Saints. We'll just take Barlow's kick though, as he's going back very deliberately, and I suppose this is a measure of the shortness of this Deakin Reserve ground, that he's got the Michael Holding run up. He'll come into 55 and then he'll let rip, and he sets sail for goal now. It's drifting towards the goal. Has it got the carry? Fisted over the line for a behind, and it is the second behind for United. 3-2-20, and we're up to 2 straight 12. Let's go to Paul Cox at Seymour. Paul Cox with a score from Seymour Benalla. No, it looks like we might have lost Paul. Here we go, Paul Cox.
3-1-19 with goals for Gordon, Pilling and 10. Benalla just having a shot on goal, just kicked it behind from Mark McKenzie, who's kicked 1 goal once. So the score at the moment is 3-1-19, Seymour to Benalla 1-1-7.
There you go, 12-point advantage enjoyed by the home side.
Thank you to Paul Cox there with the Cats now. Centre half back with possession. Kick to Black Campbell and just inside the centre square. The Cats, I feel, have just been letting themselves down with handball at this stage, and the Demons are doing better by foot. As we see the ball taken up to half forward, but it was Barlow there for the Demons, taken away by Dawes. Nice little dish out the back. He finds Aaron Gilmartin. Gilmartin kicks centre wing. There's 2 Demons there and 1 Cat, and the Cat wins out, and it was a good mark taken there by, I think it was Kennelly. No, it was actually Boyer. So Boyer, a great mark centre wing. He finds Brad Campbell. Brad Campbell half forward. Here's a go, and Learmonth it is.
Do you still have a comment, Dave?
Learmonth marks 60 out, too far out to score. Chips in ball, dangerous, but the Demons chop it off, and it's Godsmark there at centre half back for the Demons.
Well, the Demons take it away, and they come via the commentary side of the ground. Well, the mark taken here by United right on left half forward, and the play as United go forward again. Look at this, an opportunity for them running into the open sticks. Robert Smith can't get it away in time. Or can he? Yes, he can. And I think it was Smith who has lodged his first goal of the game. United move up to 4-2-26. The margin stretched out again to 14 points. We're up to 2 straight 12.
Very impressed with Godsmark at the moment for United, chipping in there across the half-back, taking 2 or 3 marks. Good vision by Tyson Sidebottom, good hands, looked up quick. If the kick had bounced up pot straight away, he would have ran into an open goal, but made it a little bit harder, but good switch there by Tyson Sidebottom to young Smith, another goal.
And a bit of a double change down there on the boundary line. Christy Piker, what can you tell us?
Yes, quite a few changes actually. Luke LeBrock has gone back on. He's now wearing number 74, just for everyone's reference. They're coming back onto the bench for Mooroopna then with Shane Gemmell. Also a change with number 16, Brennan Mellington, coming on for his first run. Number 22, Jeff Vandermeer, coming off. And then the first change for United, Ashley Round coming on for a bit of a run, and Steele Halford going off for a spell.
Thanks for that, Christy. Compliments to Nalinga Steele, Christy, our boundary rider this afternoon. And as we saw the restart, the Demons got paid an advantage. The kick was a little too enthusiastic, and it went over the pack and through for a throw-in. Right forward pocket for the Demons, who lead by 14 points late into this first term. So they've stolen the march. Here comes the ball comes back in. The Cats win possession, but they kick across the face of goal, and the bouncing ball, it won't go out just yet because it eludes Ben Tremellon, who tries to keep it alive, but he probably was happy that it finished up out of bounds, and this time left forward pocket for the Demons.
Well, Graham Smith at Mansfield has a report score for us, the big game between the Eagles and the Bombers. Thanks, Graham.
Balder with Josh. Hello.
Thank you, Graham. A report score from your game.
At the moment, scoreboard behind me, it's three goals, 1 to Clyburn, to Mansfield's 1 goal 1.
Thank you very much, Graham Smith, down there at Mansfield. And the situation here at Deakin Reserve United, 4-2-26, leading Mooroopna 2 straight 12. The ball thrown in. It's right half forward for United, but the free kick will go the way.
Oh, that's silly.
Just tell us what's happened there, Nipper, as the free kick's gone the way of Mooroopna and a United player.
Well, it should be 50 there. It was an obvious free kick to Mooroopna, and one of the United players kept running and kicked the ball through the goals, and yeah, he's paying the 50 now. I think it was Jake Cameron, wasn't it, Potts? That it was a good probably 10 seconds after the free kick had been given.
And the kick was given because the ball was plucked out of the ruck, and even though he dished off the handball, he was claimed before he dished off the handball, so that's an automatic free kick, isn't it, Nipper?
And Kalman having a spell as we speak for that 50.
So the Cats now across centre wing, they come inside 50, but as has been the case, there are a lot of demons across centre half back, and they have done well, as we mentioned in the preamble, Nipper, that the demons have got a very accomplished half back line, and they've repelled this one again. And one of the smaller men on the ground, and I think it's Ashley Round, has taken the... No, he hasn't taken the mark. He's been given against him.
Yes, he threw Collier to the ground before the contest, I reckon. Nipper, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, he did move him around a little bit, but gee, that size he would have had to, you know, maybe Collier did go... It's actually the other bloke's free kick here, but the umpire hasn't realised that. But yeah, probably a free kick there.
So the Cats with possession again. Centre wing, they haven't been that useful with the ball going forward, but there's a good mark by Norman. And Carl Norman, half forward, takes the mark. He goes inboard. He finds Learmonth. Learmonth kicks to the hot spot, and Belraj Singh takes the mark. 45 metres out, directly in front. And just as I speak, the Cats use the ball very well.
Yeah, once they get that ball across this half forward line there, and Singh's leading straight down the corridor there, Wes and Potts, look very dangerous, and just United, a little bit of discipline's costing him here a little bit. That's another 50 there, and that would have been a kick from 50. Now he's right in front, and that's nice birds in the background there, Potts.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
We've got Barry Powers online. We'll take his comments on the other side of this kick from Big Balraj, who steps up to the line and just slots through his second goal of the game, and move along to 3 goals straight, 18. They trail United 4-2-26. But let's go to Barry Powles for the score from Rochester and Euroa. Thanks, Barry.
Yeah, Gary, score here at Rochester about 18 minutes into the first quarter is Euroa 2-6 leading Rochester 2-1. Pretty tight game at the moment, both sides playing on at any opportunity. Euroa's big man, new recruit in, can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's playing very, very well. Elliot Bowen playing well for the Tigers, and good hard-fought game between the on-ballers at the moment. Back to you, Gary.
Thank you very much. Terrific start there, and thanks very much to Barry Powers. HW Greenham & Sons scoreboard shows United 4-2-26, Marupna 3 straight 18. It's a ripping contest here at Deakin Reserve, 8 points to the advantage of the Demons.
Yes, and as we wait for the leather to be brought back in from the Harold Street end of the ground here at Deakin Reserve, and yeah, just as you said there, Nipper, just across half back, the Demons just in the last couple of passages been a little bit undisciplined.
Yes, they've made a few changes now. Nathan Bovolino's gone to Belrel Singh. Sherman was on him at the start, so a lot of changes down there in the back half for United now to try and stop Belraj Singh's dominance.
Okay, and there's an infringement in the ruck, and it will go the way of the Demons, and it will be Dawes to take the free kick, but it wasn't for Dawes, so one door closes and the other door opens, Wes, and it'll actually go the way of number 48, Mitch Sidebottom. So the Demons, I'd like to know the free kick count in this quarter. I'm not saying they haven't earned them, but the Demons have certainly had the most of the free kicks in this first term. Mitch Sidebottom looks like he doesn't want to do anything but kick the ball. He finally offloads an inside 50, and coming out in the great lead is Tyson Sidebottom. Brother, is it Nipper? No,
I don't think they are.
No, not related. He blazes away though, Tyson Sidebottom, and really, yeah, he just didn't take enough time over that. Nipper is through for one behind.
Yeah, that's a couple of chances he's had. He's exciting. He's very quick and sure of his hands. Just needs to relax with his kicking a little bit.
Yeah, he makes good ground. So in addition to the score, and 4-3-26 the Demons, they lead now by 8 points over the Cats, and we're late into this first term for HW Greenham & Sons.
Yes, the Cats bring it away through left half back, and the mark taken by Jeff Kennelly. Gets it across to a teammate there in Brad Campbell, the captain for the day. He's kicked to the scoreboard side of the ground. The Cats trailing by 9 points at the 23-minute mark of this first term. Bit of movement boundary side. Let's go to Christy Piker.
Yeah, a lot of action here on the United bench with Brett McClarty just lining up to come back on after coming off with this yellow card. Is obviously 15 minutes is up, and just a bit of a change with Stan Koulos coming up and Chris Shermer going back on after giving away that 50-metre penalty before.
Well, United put the stops on Marupna as they go forward again, and they take it from half back, but the kick is travelling only so far as Sean Robbins, who immediately sends sends it straight forward to left half forward. Opportunity for the Cats. Can they lock it in? No, they can't, because they're outnumbered, and Travis Eddy tries to burst through a tackle and effectively gets the ball out to a teammate's advantage, who kicks forward, but again, numbers back for the Cats, and the mark taken by Brad Campbell.
Campbell swings on his right, but he kicks into a player, so the kick was fairly ineffective. It found, though, Nick Alloy, who got a hand pass across and back to Brad Campbell. Campbell kicks down the line, but well fisted clear by the defence there. Philip Carroll was doing the work for the Demons, and they get it over now, and they get it running. The Demons out of the half-back position, kick up towards half-forward, and a good mark taken there. And I'm not too sure whether it was a player in Round. It is Ashley Round, so Round too far out to score. He kicks, though. It'll land 20 metres from goal. Who's in front? The Cats are there, and they'll whisk it away, and they'll kick it up into the centre wing area where another Cat takes a mark.
Yes, the Cats on fire now as they move the ball very fluently right down the middle. It's taken by Blake Campbell. We've got a report score coming from Shep Swans shortly. His kick to right half forward. Singh takes the mark. Let's quickly go to Shep Swans with the report score from Robin Nags. Thank you, Robin. A report score from Shep Swans versus Shepparton.
Yeah, Shep Swans 1 goal 3, Shepparton Bears 3 goal 4.
Yeah, interesting game over there at Princess Park.
Shep Bears have been doing most of the attacking this quarter, yeah, it's certainly a good game down here at the moment.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Robin Nags from Princess Park. The mark being taken by Ben Tremellin. The kick came from Singh from right half forward, and Tremellin hard up against the boundary line, right forward pocket. His side currently trailing by 9 points as Tremellin. The distance certainly won't trouble him. In fact, he doesn't even go for goal, and he spots up a teammate further in field, and the mark taken by that teammate. The player in question is Brendan Mellington, who has slipped away from his opponent, and he has marked now. He'll kick from a 45-degree angle, 30 metres out, and he comes in very deliberately. Again, the distance shouldn't be a problem. The accuracy the question as he kicks to the western end here at Deakin Reserve. His kick is starting right, and it's missing to the near side, so just the one behind. Righto. It is the first behind on the scoreboard to the Cats. They move along to 3-1-19. They trail United 4-3-27, and that, of course, is on the H.W. Greenham and Sons scoreboard.
Yeah, still the last 5 minutes has been a bit of a lull. Shep United still in front by 8 points. But we're just coming at them a bit here, Potts. They look like they just got a bit of momentum up at the moment.
Yes, they have. There's a pack of Demons there. Get ready for this kick out. And a hand pass comes forward there, and the Demons go forward through Gil Martin. Gets the kick up towards Round, who's done a pretty good job on his half-forward flank. Little Round. He's not very big player. Scrambly play on half-forward for the Demons. The Cats have a fresh air shot as they tried to come away with it. Now body-on-body contest. No clear possession being won here. Finally, it'll be taken over the line, and I don't have number 74 in my book, fellas, so Luke LeBrock. Yeah. Okay, thanks very much for that, Wes. Luke LeBrock it is on the half-back line. So the Cats there staving off a Demon challenge. Come out the back to Alloy. Robbins, though, how many kicks have gone into the backs of opponents or teammates today? Quite a few, as Robbins kicks into the back of an opponent. Comes out now to the player there in Robert Smith. Flying shot for goal, hits the post. Halfway up for the D's, and another behind to United. 4 goals 4 now, 28, and they lead Mooroopna 3 goals 1-19 on the H.W. Greenham and Sons scoreboard. Nipper.
Yeah, that would have been a handy one right at the death there, Potts, but just snicked the post.
Well, the kick in for the Cats. They come to the commentary side of the ground. They are going to be outnumbered, though, as the ball is knocked towards the boundary line. Good pick up on that occasion by Bovalino. He gets it across to a teammate's advantage, although no real clean possessions here. Here's Dawes, the rugged 6'3" midfielder, has his head almost ripped off, and the free kick will go the way of Dawes, as Robbie Osborne just letting him know that he is going to make his presence felt this afternoon. Now, eyes weren't on the footy there on that occasion, as Robbins gives away a free kick. It goes the way of Sidebottom. That's Tyson at left half forward, ready to send his side inside 50. He does with a kick, which is finding a target, and that player in question is Steve Scott. Now, he's been good early, Steve Scott. Oh, called the play on again, and again he has been pinged, and that will be a free kick to Mooroopna. Nipper, take us through what happened there.
I just don't think you can call play on. The player's will be 5 metres away from the player about to kick. You can't stand next to him and then tackle the bloke and be called play on. So I think the umpire's got it wrong there a couple of times, but as long as he's consistent, we're happy.
Yeah, consistently getting it wrong, that's right. But look, I think you can give the benefit of the doubt for the first decision. Maybe he ran off the line, but that one was pretty harsh, I thought. Robbins tries to cut a sway through the pack, but his kick is smothered. Osborne does the same, but it's a scrambler. So the Demons off half-back can rebound again. They kick down the line, looking for a big mark. No, over the back it'll be runners. Free kick going United's way. Could have paid advantage, but Hazelman will have to bring it back. And it's a 50-metre penalty as well. So obviously with the voice snipper, no, it's not 50. I thought umpire Bull was bringing him back. So play on is the call. Comes out to the player in Robert Smith, who sets himself again. He hit the post just moments earlier. This time he's astray and through for another behind. So plenty going on out there, Nipper, but it's all to do with the decision making and not really the football.
It is. Yeah, United have had a few chances here to sneak away to a 3 or 4 goal lead, but just inaccurate in front of goals, costing him a little bit at the moment.
Well, LeBrock's long kicking comes to the commentary side of the ground of the corridor as the Cats try to take it away through midfield. Here's an opportunity for them. Eventually the ball comes out to that player there in Boyer. Boyer's kick towards Singh's advantage. Over the shoulder called, and now Singh, who is just adjusting the boot as he makes his way onto his feet again for a shot on goal. He'll have a shot from about 50 metres out, and this is the goal, if he can kick it, that will bring the game within 4 points, with currently United leading by 10, 4-5-29. The Cats 3-1-19, but Singh lining up for his third dipper. Yeah,
he's a problem, and Blake Campbell's a problem too for United in the middle. He would have had maybe 8 to 9 possessions now, and his dominance in the middle is allowing Big Singh to get out in the lead, and that was a free kick that he was interfered with. I think Sherman's gone back onto him now, so this might be his, I think it was Sherman, then it went to Bovrino, back to Sherman, so bit of a problem, Blake Campbell and Singh at the moment.
And this player number 17, I haven't seen him before, Nick Aloy, or Aloy. He's been getting a bit of it too, Nipper.
Yeah, it looked like he's been, he lives next door to McDonald's, but he's a little chubby sort of guy, but he's a good player.
Singh directly in front, kicks from 50, it is drifting to the left and then drifting a little straighter and through the middle of the goals at the western end here at Deakin Reserve. And the good news for the Cats is that they've booted their 4th. Singh has his 3rd, and earlier in the week Derek Hall said he doesn't expect 6 or 7 a game from Big Singhy. The competition, lock the ball in front 50, allow the Mosquito fleet to kick the goals. I'll tell you what, he's doing the job so far, Nipper.
Oh, he is. He's a real problem, and they need to, I suppose, cut the supply off a little bit more, but he's very strong in the lead. And I like the way he's leading down the centre of the corridor. He's not leading out wide, so his goals have been kicked directly in front.
Yes, too true, Nipper. It's the only way to go home here at Deakin Reserve, and he's really giving them a target. As the ball swung back into play, it's the Demons going forward, but it'll be chopped off by the player number 45, Chris Kendall, for the Cats at centre half back here at Deakin Reserve. Can't be long until siren time. It's the Demons by 4 points as Kendall kicks out towards the scoreboard, and good work by Brad Campbell. Great body work it was. He loops a handball that was a little bit ambitious for his teammate, put him under pressure, so the Demons can go forward again now. McClarty underneath it. He fisted it, but it was taken again by Kendall, and he'll swing it across now and find the player in Tremellin. Tremellin for the Cats. Swings around the body and finds Blake Campbell. As you say, Nipper had a lot of it. There's probably possession number 8 or 9, and he chips in board and finds Learmonth, and Learmonth plays on quickly, swings onto his right. I think it's his non-preferred, and it showed out too because he did a little chip 9-9 and it found Cowman.
Well, let's quickly go out to Tatura, the game between the Bulldogs and the Bombers. Alan Lanyon online with a report score. Thank you, Alan. We've got a report score from Tatura.
Yeah, the score here at Tatura is 3-4-22 to 3-3-21. Tatura's in Tatura's favour. Up forward for Tatura, Marty McGrath's kicked 2 goals, while Stephen White's been damaging up forward for Echuca. All in all, it's a pretty even game and still in the balance.
Thank you very much, Alan Lanyon out there at Tatura with 1 point separating the two sides. In the meantime, it is Travis Eddy at half-back for United. He kicks towards the advantage of Smith, who marks the offensive side of centre for the Demons. They lead by 4 points down the stretch, almost quarter time. The kick is a little misguided, although McClarty, to be fair to him, lost his feet at the last stage, and the ball is taken almost on the last line by the Cats. Up through the corridor now to the advantage of Robbins. Now, Robbins has got options further afield, although there's not a lot of movement for him as he looks inboard and finds Vandermeer. The looping handball across the top to Alloy. Now, he was the player that Nipper spoke of early, and eventually comes back to Robbins, who sets the boot into the share and kicks it long to right half forward. But you can hear the siren sound there in the FX mic, and that is quarter time here after a 33-minute opening.
Second of the footy a lot. We didn't react enough, and it's good that we're still in the game.
Right, so what's the tactics for this second quarter?
Just play smarter footy, and we'll try to get the ball through the corridor as quick as we can down the big barrage. He's in tremendous form at the moment.
Not to worry. Coming from the United huddle, same kind of message from Steve Hazeman. Actually, he basically said the only thing beating us at the moment are ourselves. You know, giving away a couple of 50s and yellow cards and all that kind of thing. You just basically get in there and work on that work rate. Craig.
Thanks very much, Christy. And on the restart, Blake Campbell ran too far in the wrong direction and was pinged, and this will set up the Demons' first kick into attack. But it's all Cats back in defence, although scrounging the pack there was a young side bottom. He was all wrapped up, and a ball up in the forward pocket. Nipper, just your thoughts on the first quarter and the thoughts of Peter White there?
Yeah, I think Whitey's probably a bit harsh on Britain. I thought they were pretty hard at it, but yeah, they started off well. Great start. United, great start. Maribyrnong pegged them back, but yeah, look, it's a very interesting game. I just think that both midfielders. Blake Campbell's the key at the moment. Got to man him up.
For sure, as the scrounging goes on in the forward line, Jake Cowman can have a shot at goal, and after a long period of congestion, the Demons manufactured something out of nothing, and it was one of the bigger men on the field, and Jake Cowman getting his second goal.
He's been very good, Jake Cowman. He's obviously, after the ruck contest, he's pushing forward, and that's his second goal, and he's causing Maribyrnong a few problems.
So United increased their margin at quarter time. It was 4 points. It's out to 10 now. 5-5 leading Maribyrnong 4 goals 1, and just the start the Cats wouldn't have wanted, Nipper.
No, they needed to get the first one, and United, they've got to be a bit careful with Maribyrnong. United have dominated so far early, and you get another couple here, it could blow open.
And the kick goes forward, it finds side bottom, who dishes it off to Hazelman, the coach. Right foot kick into the pocket. It's a good one-on-one duel back there, but coming out of it is that player, number 50, and Ashley Round. He can't get rid of the ball. In there is Smith, who soccers it towards goal, but it's out of bounds, and the goal umpire signalling that. And right forward pocket, which is where the Demons have been for all of this second term, on our match of the day on FM 98.5, boundary throw-in to take place.
I tell you what, Nipper, that was almost the Wayne Harms, wasn't it?
That was that went through. So if that had been called not out of bounds, that would have been a great goal. Soccer off the ground by Smith.
Yes, would have been a ripper as the ball was thrown in. So it's deep in the pocket for United. They're into attack again, trying to burst through the pack though. The Cats eventually wrapped up in the tackle, and the umpire will intervene with the ball up. So good work there by Carl Norman, his second effort there from that contest. His side trailing at the moment, 4-1-25, United 5-5-35. The ball up and down again, and immediately a secondary ball up will result, because again no capacity to clear there for the Cats as the umpire steps in with quite a number of players gathering around the ball. Cowman up against Norman as the kick comes away from Campbell. Good work to his teammates' advantage there in Tremellan, although he had the ball punched away. Comes to Smith at ground level. He kicks inside 50. Right half forward flank. Forey's the big leap. From behind though, the punch came from the Cats. The ball at ground level taken by Tyson Sidebottom. He's wrapped up, dispossessed, called a throw, and will go the way of Maribyrnong at left half back. And the free kick will be with Dan Collier. He's been good early, Dan Collier, the young fella, providing some drive off the last line as he looks for his options and goes laterally to the opposite side of the ground and spots up Brad Campbell. Immediately Campbell loops it across the top to a teammate in space. That player is Chris Kendall. Now he takes it and he runs. He thinks about bouncing, now he puts the ball to boot. He's got a teammate further afield. His big bell rage, but the ball is off hands, bounces towards the line, and he runs out of tarmac. It will be thrown in just 10 metres around from the Cats' goal, but Nipper, that was very good movement forward. Started way back there in the left back pocket with Dan Collier.
It was Brad Campbell got loose, which allowed Kendall, who's playing on Stephen Scott, to then run off. So Brad Campbell getting loose there, and I think he's playing on Dominic Barlow, so it's a good match-up there.
From the boundary throw-in, Belraj Singh just had tried to swipe it out of the ruck and have a shot, but it went across the face and out of bounds. So it'll be the Demons with the free kick in the last line of defence, and coming out with the ball at the moment, number 49 for the D's. It's play on, it goes to Gil Martin, who tries to handball his way around the boundary and the defence, and not successful. The Cats turn it over. Vandermeer tries to kick one along the line and finds the boundary line and gains his side about 20 or 30 metres. So right below our commentary position here at Deakin Reserve, second quarter. It's 10 points the margin. The Demons in the match of the round, leading the Cats by 10 points. Robbins plucks this ball. but he can't get rid of it. Dawes wraps him up. It's taken there by Boyer, and Boyer is dispossessed as well, and finally the ball is taken over, and there would be about 15 players around the ball here at Deagon Reserve. It's been congested all game, hasn't it, Nipper?
It has been. A lot of numbers around the ball, so it's been a lot of little quick handballs, and it's very hard to get it out of there.
Well, the ball won to the advantage of the Cats, getting a hurried kick away as Kane Boyer inside 50. Opportunity as players fall to ground. Travis Eddy sweeping across half back with that loose man roll, gets it across to Stephen Scott, clears to the just the scoreboard side of centre. Clever play by Brad Campbell. He does it one-handed, then kicks his side back inside 50. But look at Travis Eddy. He's got no one to be accountable for, and he just takes the ball away again. He stumbles at the crucial moment and eventually sees the ball over the boundary line 55 metres around from the Cats goal. It's United 5-5-35, Marupna 4-1-25 on the HW Greenham and Sons scoreboard. Boundary side, Christy Piker.
Thanks, Wes. We just saw Robbie Smith come off onto the boundary line with a nice bit of claret on his forehead, just getting that fixed up, just a bit of a cut above the eye there. Going on to replace him was Steele Halford.
Thanks for that, Christy, with thanks to Malinga Steele, our boundary rider this afternoon. Christy Piker doing a great job as always. Ball comes back into play. Sean Robbins tries to cut his way through the pack, but it's turned over by the Demons, and the kick, though, is out of bounds on the full, so hasn't had the best of days, actually, Tyson Sidebottom, and it goes back the way of the Cats. Now, Norman it is, with a looping hand pass over the top. He finds Kendall. Kendall kicks around the body, and Singh was there, front position, and that's poor marking by the Demon defender. Is it Shermer, Nipper?
Yeah, Shermer's gone back to Singh. Actually, Marupna have gone back to, United have gone back to the sort of the same six that started on their forwards in the very start of the first quarter, so they've gone back to what they thought first, and once again Singh's a problem. Kendall's getting a fair bit of drive off Marupna's half back line there. Scotty's losing him a little bit, and he's been able to get loose. Norman obviously chipped back there in the middle and found the running half back flanker, and Singh lining up for his fourth.
And just watching Sherman, then he's not happy with himself either. He really just gave Singh just far too much latitude, and I know Singh is a pretty quick step off the first two, but he was nowhere with him, Shermer, and Singh's made him pay because he's driven this nail right through the teeth of goals, and it cuts it back to the margin it was at quarter time. 4 points the Cats trail by now. 5 goals, 1-31. United 5-5-35, and that's on the HW Greenham and Sons scoreboard. And Nipper, are they about to make their move, the Cats?
Well, they are really pushing hard here, and Singh's keeping him in the game, isn't he? 4 goals out of 5, and he let young Sherman know then too when he kicked that fourth one. So, and once again, like, Sherman's got to be now one-on-one and really get close to this guy because he gave him too much leniency there.
Cowman wins the ball down to ground, taken by the Cats though. The handball comes out to the advantage of Tremellan. He eventually gets a kick. It goes as high as it does as far along the horizontal, and the mark taken at half-back by Sandors. He comes out to the commentary side of the ground and finds Gil Martin. Now, Aaron Gil Martin has got a couple of numbers both short and long. He chooses to go back a little deliberately, then kick short. He finds his teammate there in Bovolino. He gets it off on the overlap, the handball. They go inside 50. The mark taken at half forward by David Gillespie. Now, Gillespie, who again, he's probably a little too far out to score. He's pretty deliberate though in his attack as he kicks towards the hot spot. He's got a couple of teammates down there as targets, punched away by the Cats. Good defensive work there, taking the crumbs front and square was that player in Barlow. Eventually the ball pops out to the advantage of Fories. The kick towards goal, the mark taken by Tyson Sidebottom. Jeez, quick. Just inside the line, and good movement by Sidebottom at both ends of the ground. And he is an exciting player, of course, a premiership player with Tully in the KDFL last season. And they won that game by a point after going in as rank underdogs. As he comes in now, a very, very acute angle. The distance obviously not a worry, but the acuteness of the angle. Oh, look at the kick on goal by Tyson Sidebottom. And he has just done the banana kick from the right forward pocket, and he has nailed his first goal of the game. That is a ripping goal, Nipper. And I'll tell you what, he did it with consummate ease.
Oh, look, he's a class player, and he's been dominating out at Tully for a long, long time now. And I played in the Premiership last year, best on ground in the grand final with over 30-something possessions. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching him play, and he has got some toe pots, hasn't he?
Yeah, gee, he ran that ball down. I don't think there were many players out there that actually would have run that kick down, so it was running with the flight of the ball, and the quick kick by Fories, but side bottom, gee, showed a lot of toe. So Cowman wins the tap down, but it's sharked by LeBrock for the Cats. It's fisted clear of that big packet centre half forward. Socket off the ground by Dizzy Gillespie. It comes down the ground now as it's taken away by the Demons out of defence, and that player there, number 28, is Chris Shermer. He's trying to make amends for what he did earlier, but Brad Campbell chops it off. Campbell gives it across to Blake Campbell, his brother. They drive it forward, searching on a lead ball. Best nearly took the mark. Swatted away before he got his third grab at it, and fair enough too, so not the mark completed. Side bottom now, back in defence there for the D's. He hand passes up to Gil Martin. Gil Martin with the long kick. It's a bit of a floater though, and his teammate there under a lot of pressure to reel it in before the boundary line beats him. So 10 points the margin. We've been playing about 12 minutes into this second term. It's the match of the round between the Demons and the Cats, and the Demons by 10 points, Wes.
Centre wing, the United side of centre as the ball is thrown in by the boundary umpire. Cowman, Norman wins it down with the big left, but it goes only so far as the United opponent. Now United have an opportunity as the kick is partially smothered though. Good work there on that occasion by Gary Learmonth. The ball at ground level. Collier surely a push in the back, and it will go his way at left half back with an opportunity for the Cats to clear. Now this is often where they'll look sideways, and rather than kick along the line into congestion, they'll just try to create some space on the fat side of the ground. What does he do? He's looking at his options as he is kicking long, but he does kick along the line. He kicks towards the advantage of his half-forward flank as the ball punched away by that very, very stern United defence, and the big congratulations coming in for that player there. So
he's been stirred up, Sherman, hasn't he?
They've made a swap there. Gillespie's gone to Singh, and Sherman's gone to Robbins.
And they've stirred, he's been stirred up too, Shermer, I think, by Belraj giving him a needling there, because he's been leading the charge to the ball on a couple of occasions. The ball's tapped back from whence it came over the line, but yeah, he's just got a bit of fire in the belly now, Shermer, and the swap being made, and he's got a point to prove.
It's good. Look, he's been touched up a little bit, so yeah, he's got a bit about foot. He's got 2 and a bit quarters to redeem himself.
Ball comes out, defensive side. The Demons work it well with a chain of hand passes. Side bottom with his hands on the ball. He kicks it, and out comes a little fella there in Ashley Round. Round gives it off to a teammate there in Gil Martin. Hand pass over the top was a looping one. Wasn't that good? It'll go back to Gil Martin though. No, spinning out of the coach in Hazelman. Now Round again. He kicks a very disciplined kick to the hot spot. Travis Eddy's down there, but he overruns the ball. Hand passes for Stephen Scott. Now it comes back to Dawes, who will just settle and just chip a nice little 8-iron in towards McClarty, who takes the mark for the Demons 10 metres out directly in front. Nipper?
Yeah, good little build up there by Shep United. It's interesting that Flores can't get into the game at the moment. Connolly's doing a great job on him, but McClarty's a good little fall down there. Apart from his indiscretion, he's caused Rutan a few problems deep in the forward line.
Could they have been further in front with him off for 15 minutes?
Well, no doubt. No doubt. It's very hard to play with 17, and you hope it doesn't spoil it at the end, but he's making up for it now with his second goal.
His second goal, and the Demons are playing the better football here at Deakin Reserve, just coming up with the answers when needed. And McClarty with goal number 2. He was sent off in the first quarter for an indiscretion and we believe a report, and McClarty has kicked 2 for the Demons, and they extend their lead now out to 16 points would be the margin on the HW Greenham and Sons scoreboard. It's United 7 goals 5 47, Marupna 5-1 31. We've been halfway through this second term, Wes.
Yes, we are indeed. Singh has 4 for the Cats, and McClarty and Cowman 2 goals apiece.
Really impressed with the little fella Ashley Round around the forward line, very quick, and he's caused a few problems too.
He's no Barry.
He is no Barry Round.
Yeah, he's about half the size as Dawes takes it at defensive side of centre, gets it across to Eddie, who in turn goes to the left half forward flank. Well, could have done better than that, United, although turn it over. Taking it at half back are the Cats. The looping handball out to the advantage of Robbie Osborne. He's been pushed up the ground a little bit. Eventually gets a kick towards Singh's advantage. The ball knocked away by him. The crumbing, the Cats, the shot on goal. Bounces across the face of the goal and over the line into the pocket. Will be thrown in 10 metres around from the left behind post. The Cats into attack. They are 5-1 31. United 7-5 47 on the HW Greenham and Sons scoreboard. We've gone 14 minutes on the time clock.
Yeah, they're coming forward here now. Maroochna, they need to try and get a score out of this stoppage here. Barrow Singh will go for the ruck.
20 players around this ball as it comes into the play. Every man wants a slice of it. The Demons, though, through one of the smallest players on the ground, I think it was Round again, kicks it in towards centre wing, and it's picked up by Sidebottom. Sidebottom, though, dishes it off to the coach in Hazelman, kicks down the line, but it was out positioned. In fact, Fories is really in the wilderness at the moment because he was well behind his opponent on that occasion, and this allows the Cats to turn it over. Comes to Tremellin. Tremellin will go inboard and find the veteran in Vandermeer. Vandermeer will give it to Brad Campbell. Good build up inside 50 now. Osborne comes out and takes the mark. That was good play by the Cats. And what's wrong with Matt Fories, do you think, Nipper?
Well, I don't know. Like Steve Hazelman was waiting for him to come forward there. A couple of times he beckoned and he didn't. And then I don't know if he's injured or not there, Potts, but he didn't seem to know when to lead. And that's a feature of his game that I've seen over, especially last year. And he might pay here because Robert Osborne's lining up to put Maroochna back within 10 points.
Can kick a ball, Osborne, and this would be a hell of a turnaround, and the kick will almost go the distance. Now it'll land in the square. Oh, Norman was there, and he slapped it down to the little player in Paul Neville, who sharked the easiest of goals. So Neville with his second, and well, that was really costly, really. When the Demons were building up to something, Nipper, it ends up with a Maroochna goal.
Yeah, well, they'll be disappointed there because you hate those goals that get punched down in the goal square, and bad marking left Paul Neville standing there by himself. I was lucky, but he was in the right position at the right time and he put it through.
Yes. Well, let's quickly go to the game between Shep Swans and Shepparton. Reg Dickinson with a report score in the second term.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the second quarter here. It's now 6-4 to Shep Swans 40 to Shepparton Bears.
Sorry, no, what was that?
4 goals, 6.
Oh, no, I didn't. Sorry, no.
Shep Swans.
A bit of a change has come over the game in the second quarter with Shep Swans starting to kick away a bit, and their first game player today, Charlie Maher, has been involved in about 3 of those goals. Really playing a great game for the Swans today, and Jared Sutherland's come into his own this quarter as well.
Thank you very much, Red Dickinson there. The game between the Swans and the Bears, as we see here at Deakin Reserve, it's 10 points to the advantage of United. It's the Cats into attack again, right on the goal square. They're on the cusp of scoring again. Big Balraj Singh picks up the crumbs and he slots through his 5th goal of the game so far. And at the 17-minute mark of this second term, the margin is shaved back to just 4 points. Maroochna moving along to 7-1, 43. Shep United 7-5, 47 on the HW Greenham and Sons scoreboard. Exciting stuff from Big Balraj.
Okay.
He is really making them pay today, Nipper.
Oh, he is. He's 5 goals out of 7. A bit unlucky there. Young Philip Carroll came bursting through and fed out the handball, but to no one, and straight into Balraj Singh, who just coolly slotted through his 5th.
It was a bit of a team goal, though, that one. The handball by Osborne, they were just quick thinking, the Cats, and they were quick to seize on the opportunities, especially Balraj, just pumping the floater through.
Let's quickly go boundary side. Christy Piker for Nalinga Steel.
Thanks, Wes. Interesting to see that Grant McClarty's just taking another spell on the bench. He doesn't appear to be injured or anything, but he's come off for a bit of a spell, as has Michael Barlow, replacing both of those players as Robbie Smith and also Mitch Sidebottom going on for a bit of a run.
And a new Sharon being called for, and pretty well kicked in by the ball steward there, who wouldn't look much of a footballer, but he's done pretty well. As we wait for the leather to come back in the middle, and Balraj Singh with 5 on the board, and the margin back to 4 points.
So we've gone 1-on-1 all around the ground now, Pot, so there's no loose men anywhere on the ground.
Let's quickly go to the Murray Football League scores with Wayne Burrows.
Football League and 98.5 FM. With only 3 rounds played today, we're having trouble getting the scores through from Baruga and Denny due to phone problems they've got up there. But we have got Rumbalara at quarter time 3-4-22, 2 points up on Kungupna at 3-2-20. And the scores at Nathalia Finley is Nathalia 4-4-28 to Finley yet to score. This has been Wayne Burrows for Murray Football League.
Meanwhile at Deakin Reserve, it's 47 plays 43 with the home side United having led from the outset. They have the ball at half-back.
And it's Round with the ball at half-back, who kicks, though, is chopped off by the player in Alloy. He'll go all the way, I think, with his left foot kick. He does. And Aloy has come up with a goal for the Cats, who have really found some form, Nipper.
They have just some turnovers here by Ship United in their back half. Wes and Craig that are causing Mooroopna to get back in this game. 3 probably mistakes. Mooroopna have capitalised with 3 goals, and great kick by Aloy, pumping left footer from about 50 metre mark.
Yeah, I like the way he plays the game, Aloy. He has had a presence today across all parts of the ground, half back, half forward, and he does have a nice kick on him.
Well, at Seymour, the game between the Lions and the Saints, we have Paul Cox with the report score midway through the second term. Thank you, Paul Cox, with the report score.
How are you there, guys? Paul Cox here from Seymour. The score now is Seymour 7-2-44 to Benalla 5-3-33. Great game of footy here.
Gvfl R2. We are the best under pressure.
The working day can get you low. You need a special place to go. Relax, and let your head down. The Gvfl Club, where good friends meet.
Sponsors of FM 98.5.
Dalson's Building Centres has just taken out 2 prestigious industry awards, Best Country Trust Manufacturing Facility and Best Building Materials Centre in Victoria. Their level of service, product quality and backup support gave Dalson's the winning edge. Building or renovating, Dalson's leading edge truss and frame design coupled with their manufacturing technology and design flexibility means you can move on to the next job faster. Give our sponsor Dalson's your plans for a free no obligation quote. Call Dalson's, the award winning teams, or drop into Shepparton, Deniliquin or Echuca Dalson's. Do it right first time. FM 98.5 is Gvfl Football.
20 seconds into the third quarter here in the match of the day on FM 98.5. It's Mooroopna 10-4-64, leading Shepparton United 7-5-47. No addition to the score so far in the second half, although United into attack. They have it at left half forward. The free kick has been pulled out by the umpire and will go the way of the Cats. And the free kick will be going to Jeff Kennelly at halfback. He goes with a little chip kick on the left and finds a teammate further afield, and the mark's taken by Gary Learmonth. He goes in the middle of the arena and finds a diving Jeff Vandermeer, who cops a little knock to the head from that player in Smith. He gets a handball off though to a teammate as they go forward again into the hot spot. Opportunity for the Cats, although the decision to go to think a second time to look for another option wasn't a great one because they turn it over, and the kick from Smith is travelling only so far as Robbie Osborne, who has it centre wing. So Osborne right on the edge of the centre square, kicks his team to centre half forward. He's got a couple of targets down there. Norman's one of them, but Cowman gets across the top in front of the pack and takes a good mark at centre half back.
Cowman goes across the face and finds the coach in Hazelman on the left half-back flank. Hazelman decides to switch it again, and he looks out in the Gillespie direction, finds him on the defensive 50-metre arc, dummies one opponent, and then goes and straightens up and puts a beautifully weighted pass to a teammate there. Hand passes off to Travis Eddy. Eddy with a high kick inside 50. Side bottom set himself, but he didn't have eyes for the ball, said the umpire, and it'll be a free kick.
Well, Greg Liddell has a TAC Cup score. Let's go to Greg now.
The scores at Queen Elizabeth Oval in Game 2. North Ballarat Rebels at quarter-time lead. The Murray Bushrangers 6-4 to 2 goals. It's 2 goals to Sam Turlick in his first game. James Saker's also playing well, the Benalla boy.
Rangers.
It's Greg Liddell from 98.5 FM Sport.
Bushrangers with a bit of work to do there as they play against the Rebels. Potsy, the action back here. No change to the scores from half-time. 17 points to the advantage of the Cats.
Yes, and as the Demons, as I speak, they go into attack, but it's Brad Campbell, one of the likely types in that first quarter, actually could be in trouble here. Brad Campbell, he is pinged for holding the ball at centre half back, and he was really just mimicking everything, wasn't he, Nipper?
He did pull it back in there, Potts, and didn't make a real attempt to get rid of it, and it's probably a fair decision.
Yeah, well, he didn't want to give up possession, because had he given up possession, they probably would have got a goal. So you might as well have a go at trying to do a bit of acting and make it look like you're trying. But in the end, the umpires are awake to that these days. Stan Koulis onto the ground. I don't think he's been on in the first half, but he has made his presence felt in the second half, because Stan Koulis kicks United their first goal in the third term, and a much needed one given the ascendancy or the dominance of Mooroopna late in the second term. The margin now back to 11 points on the HW Greenham and Sons scoreboard. United 8 goals 5, trailing Mooroopna 10 goals 4.
Well, Christy Pike at boundary side is generously provided by Nalinga Steel, and Christy, Stan Koulis did not see a lot of action in the first half, but he certainly made his presence felt to begin the second half.
He sure did. He did have a couple of sort of stints on the field, but spent most of the time on the bench, so obviously expecting fresh legs and big things from him this quarter.
Mooroopna 10-4-64, leading Shep United 8-5-53, an 11-point buffer enjoyed by the visiting side as the umpire prepares to throw the ball up again. Norman and Cowman with plenty of leap and double fists it down to a teammate's advantage, but it's the Cats that get first possession. Kick to centre half forward. United with numbers back, they punch it forward, front and square. Copping a very heavy bump was that Mooroopna player. The ball spills out. The advantage is with Best. Best, although he can't get a clean possession. They do eventually through Vandermeer, sends his side forward to left half forward, and there's Best on the end of it. That was good passage of play by the Cats. He wants to play on immediately. He kicks to the goal square. Oh, he kicks a goal, you beauty, from 50, and that brings the Mooroopna crowd to their feet. They're delighted with that performance by young Jared Best, and that extends the margin back out to 17 points. Very constructive footy. Good work on the line by Big Singh there, Nipper, to ensure that the goal got through, and again stretches the margin back out to the game high 17-point lead that Mooroopna have enjoyed.
Yeah, class player, Jared Best. He doesn't need much not much space. Once he gets the football, he usually does something with it, and that was very quick, smart to play on, get himself within 50 and a left foot straight through the centre.
So back out to 17 points, and that was a Jared Best specialty. I've seen him kick a few of those goals over the years, of course, in the Shepparton Swans Guernsey. Now the Demons going forward with a big rush, landing in the square though, off hands through fours and over the line for a minor score.
Jared Best's opponent there, Godsmark, trying to get one back, ran off him.
Okay, good pick up there, Nipper. And so the Cats will kick out from full back. It's Laporta who kicks out and finds a teammate there. It could be Aloy. Right foot kick in any case by the Cats. Was a floater there for Cowman, went through his arms. Stephen Scott had it though, he repelled it, but Laporta's back there again for the Cats, and Laporta will mark. He plays on quickly, he dishes off to a teammate in Kennelly. Kennelly's kick will find Blake Campbell on the defensive side of the point of the centre square, and Blake Campbell now, a little chip kick, finds Learmonth in the centre of Deakin Reserve. Wanted to play on but then went back on his mark. Didn't want to be mown down like Stephen Scott was twice in that second quarter. Comes out to Blake Campbell. Campbell got it off now to Best. Best kicked it in the Belraj Singh direction, but there's two Demons there, one being Dizzy Gillespie, who will look to get out of trouble. He dishes off to Hazelman.
He does indeed. Hazelman now comes to the commentary side of the ground. Scott was the target. The ball worked to ground. Scott gets a little handball in, but it is going to be a free kick paid the way of Mooroopna, and the recipient will be Paul Neville at right half forward. Immediately plays on. He kicks to the forward pocket. Robbins the target. Ball forced to ground. United have the numbers back, although they sell themselves into trouble. That was not very clever play. It's the player in Robbins that tries to evade a tackle, eventually gets the handball out, but he has stepped out of bounds with the ball, and the ball will be thrown in 45 metres around from the right behind post. The Cats leading 70-54 on the HW Greenham and Sons scoreboard. The ball thrown in. Getting the big fist to it was Robbie Osborne, but it's taken by United, and they kick it into the middle of Deakin Reserve. The ball pops up, and with a slightly outnumbered situation, Mooroopna are able to escape with the footy again. They come to the right half forward flank, and Osborne just works his opponent forward to the footy. Plays on immediately. He swings onto the left and kicks it high and long. Seeing the target, it falls short of him. The big leap, I sense it was from Scott. No, in fact, it was from Cowman, the big leaper. The ball spills out to the advantage of United, and they take it away through the agency of Gillespie.
And Gillespie hand passes to Koulis. Koulis in turn goes over the top, and he finds a teammate there in Smith. Smith now gives it back inside to Gillespie. Good running, but the kick by Gillespie wasn't good. It was straight down the throat of the player in Chris Kendall for Mooroopna.
Sue Church with Picola half-time scores. Thank you, Sue.
This is Sue from the Gvfl Football Netball League with thanks from Padman-Stop Strathmerton with half-time scores. Round 4, the Gvfl United 11-8-74, Berrigan 2-1-13. Denny Rovers 9-3-57 to Yarrawea 5-5-35. Shep East 10-8-68 to Tungamah 6-3-39. Katandra 10-8-68 to Waioi 4-2-26. Katunga 10-8-68, Katamatai 4-5-29. Wanyu, no score from Wanyu yet. Dookie United 9-3-57 to Strathmerton 7-6-48. This is Sue Church from the Gvfl Football Netball League with thanks from Padman-Stop Strathmerton.
And back here at Deakin Reserve, round 2 match of the day on FM 98.5, and it's 16 points the margin in favour of the Mooroopna Cats. Stephen Scott though for the Demons with the ball on centre wing. He kicks across the face of the 50-metre arc, and he finds McClarty, who took a good mark 45 metres out directly in front. He's going back quickly on the mark, but now he'll steady. He's been told to go back and have a shot for goal. And just for those with a bit of interest in the GGs, County Tyrone winning the Sydney Cup just moments ago, paying $20 to win. County Tyrone winning the Sydney Cup. And Grant McClarty going for the Easter eggs here at Deakin Reserve, and he has kicked a much-needed goal for the Demons to bring them back to within 10 points, and that would be the third goal on the board to Grant McClarty.
Yeah, he's been very good up forward. He's got great hands and he's made the most of his opportunities. He's matched up on Luke LeBrock now, and he's got a little bit of height on Luke LeBrock. They might try and isolate him and get that one out, because at the moment, once again, Forers and Dawes aren't really firing shots down there, so McClarty's been the one that's had to stand up.
Boundary side, Christy Piker for Nalinga Steel.
Thanks, Wes. Quick change from Marupna with Ben Tremellan coming onto the ground and Sean Robbins taking a spell on the bench.
11-4-70 plays 9-6-60. It's the Cats by 10 points. Yes, the visitors lead here at Deakin Reserve. Vandermeer with the deft hands gets it across to a teammate who ducked his head. The umpire called play on despite the high tackle. Tyson Sidebottom works the ball wide to the right half forward flank by hand, although they turn it over, and taking it away for the Cats was that youngster in Chris Kendall. The ball worked to the boundary line. It was Brad Campbell eventually taking possession, gets it across to a teammate, and then we find Kendall taking possession again. The Cats come in board from right half forward flank. The target is that player in... Spot that up, that's Best. Best goes long on the left. He's got Singh, who tries to work his opponent off the footy. The ball bounces towards the goals, but it is just left as the margin is stretched out by one behind to 11 points. It is 11-5-71. Marupna United 9-6-60, and we have a report score. Back to the studios quickly.
Yep, we're updating AFL scores courtesy of Riviera Pizza.
A report score forthcoming there. We'll get that one in a moment as we see the kick-in coming from United.
And up they go. Big pack of United players actually spoilt each other on the kick out. It's forced a bit of a scrum and a ball up as umpire Hughes comes in to...
I believe we've got the score in our potty. Let's see how we go. How'd we go there? We've got a score coming from the studio.
Yes, we do. It is the AFL score update courtesy of Riviera Pizza. Currently, the Bulldogs lead at half-time with 4 points over the Cats. It is 8 goals and 9 behinds, a total of 57. Over Geelong, which is only 8 goals and 5. And back to you guys at Deakin Reserve.
Demons try to mount an attack here, but chopped off though by the Cats again. You sense they're a chance though, United. They have they've eaten into this lead. They're 9 points in arrears of Marupna. It's 15 minutes into this third term, I should say. And on the HW Greenham and Sons scoreboard, United 9-6-60 trails Marupna 11-5-51. But Nippy, you sense that if they can steal a goal here and get a bit of a sniff, they might lift.
Yeah, they're fighting very hard, United. Gone probably a bit more one-on-one around the stoppages and really working hard here. They probably haven't got the score on the board as they'd like, but yeah, another one here, Potsy, makes it very interesting.
So the ball is below our commentary position. It's centre wing, just forward of centre wing in favour of the Demons. Cowman taps it out into the path of Stephen Scott. It was a good kick, but they've got the bases covered, and that's Kendall again, is racking up some sort of a game, Nipper.
Oh, he's been very, very good. He's been in and out of the midfield. He's half back as well, and he's very, very good.
Blake Campbell, who chips, who accepts the chip pass, and then he kicks a long one into the centre where Learmonth is waiting. Learmonth now goes across the face. They're actually going the long way home, but there's Blake Campbell again. Does the dummy, but then he's run down from behind, and consistency being the order of the day, that's holding the ball.
Definitely was. He ran around the first fella, but got run down from behind.
So it is Barlow for the Demons now. He's in the centre of Deakin Reserve, and he kicks a long ball looking for at the back. No, the Cats are there, and it'll be Brad Campbell to marshal the troops once more.
Yes, Campbell goes short and still inside defensive 50 as the mark's taken by Carl Norman. Now, the former AFL player with Carlton chooses to go laterally and release his teammate into a bit of space. The player there was Kendall, goes out to the scoreboard side of the ground, or the southern side of the ground here at Deakin Reserve, and they just start to slow things up a little bit, the Cats. We'll go boundary side to Christy Piker in a moment for Nalinga Steel as he calls a lead forward. His kick is is off the inside of the boot and over the line, so that gives us an opportune time as United take the free kick to go boundary side. Christy Piker.
Thanks, Wes. Another change for Marupna with Shane Gemmell coming on and number 28 in Kane Boyer coming off the ground.
Well, United tried to go to the fat side of the ground, and the kick is travelling only so far as Big Balraj Singh. His kick inside 50 is to the advantage of Rob Osborne. Osborne is ridden into the turf. How does the umpire read that? He put the whistle to the mouth and then called play on. So United will bring it away from half back. They go wide to that player in Steve Hazelman, who's got space in which to run. Now Hazelman takes a bounce. He thinks about a second, runs his full quota, almost travelled too far. He's decked as he kicks by LeBrock, and the ball will be relayed downfield and a United shot on goal, but we have a report score coming through. Let's take that score now as we see Big Matty Forey line up from directly in front, 50 metres out. As we welcome that score now around the grounds. No, Marupna 11-5-71, United 9-6-60. We'll take that around the ground score in just a moment as Forey's lines up. He has not kicked a goal yet today. He's a big left footer. He comes in. It's a thumping long kick, but it's too wide, and we will take that score as we have an around the ground score. Thank you, Paul. Over to you. Thank you, Paul. Report score. Paul Cox, I believe, has the score at Seymour versus Benalla.
Over to you, Paul.
No, maybe we've lost Paul. The situation here at Deakin Reserve, Marupna 11-5-71, United 9-6-60.
So 9 points the margin here at Deakin Reserve as we approach the tail end of the third term, and the Demons are trying hard to mount something here, and Eddie it is on centre wing. He finds a teammate out wide, and it might be Smith, or it could be even the player in Ashley Round. The kick though is chopped off by the Cats, but it's still in unmarked territory. In fact, the Demons get it back through side bottom, who straightens for goal and shaves the post. If anything, it shaved the outside of the post, so through for one behind. So it was the player there in Tyson side bottom had probably a bit more time than what he thought, and the Cats with possession now as they run it out and looking and chopping it off though is Stephen Scott. It was Kendall who kicked the ball, gave it to Cowman. Cowman will have to get his kick in. He does. Now it'll land 15 metres from home. The little fella Round is there for the Demons, and he's potted through. And you can sense that the Demons have worked hard for this goal, and they're building to something as they bring the margin back to within 4 points, Nipper.
Yeah, been very good, Shep United, around the stoppages. Little Rounds causing them a few problems around the forward line there, but a good contest by Big Dawes that brought it to the front of the pack. He nearly marked it, but they've lifted United and they've dominated the last 10 or 15 minutes of this game.
Score check, HW Greenham and Sons, and it is United trailing Marupna now by just 4 points. We're in setting ourselves for a big last quarter.
Let's go to Seymour versus Benalla. Paul Cox online to provide a report score. Thank you, Paul. Fire away.
Yeah, the scores here at Seymour 9-6-60 to Benalla 10-7-67.
Yes, very interesting scenario there with 7 points separating the two sides, and from the ball up, the free kick has gone the way of big Jake Cowman. 50 metres will take him well inside the attacking 50. And Nipper, I'm not exactly sure that I saw what that was for. You might like to take us through it.
Not sure, but the maligned Robert Osborne takes a spell on the bench again for giving away a 50. I'm not sure. Didn't see the free kick. But Jake Cowman now is chance to kick his third and put Shep United back in front.
Yes, well, it is the Cats currently by 4 points as Cowman steps up. He's a right footer. His kick off the boot is an absolute dead set shocker. It won't even make the distance, and Forey takes a nice mark in the right forward pocket. Well,
that was set up there, wasn't it?
I'm sure it was a pass, Potty. As Forey takes the mark, the boot of Cowman sent that ball skyward, probably as high as it went long, and it did not even make the distance from about 45, which is pretty surprising for a player of his very good level of ability, as Forey's comes in now, deep in the right forward pocket, a very acute angle. He is, however, a left footer. He steps up now, and when the easy one is missed, the difficult one is kicked. And that is a terrific goal to United. They move along to 11-7-73, and they lead now by 2 points. Marupna 11-5-71. Let's quickly go to Mansfield. Graham Smith online to bring us up to date with the scores there between the Eagles and the Bombers. Thank you, Graham.
Yes, at the present time, Mansfield have still got their noses in front. They're leading 9-13 to 6-5. Mansfield had the majority of the play this quarter, although Kyabram have just had a fair run of the ball in the last 5 minutes and are threatening. But at this stage, Mansfield are down forward again, and fairly good game at the present time, with Mansfield leading by 4 goals. Thank you.
There is more movement boundary side for Nalinga Steel.
There sure is, Wes. Well, as you can see, Robert Osborne's just about to come back onto the ground, but another change just to care for Mooroopna as well with... I've just got to find it now. Sorry about that, guys. Jeff Vandermeer's come off and Sean Robbins back on, as we also see number 33 in Jason Casamati coming off the ground as well.
11-7, 74, 73 in fact. Shep United, Mooroopna 11-5-71, and the game's really stepped up a notch, Nipper.
Oh, it certainly has. Shep United a fantastic job in this third quarter to get them back in the game, and now in front. They've really tightened up, and I think their coach Steve Hazelman's had a fair influence in this third quarter as well, getting a lot of the ball across half-back.
Let's quickly go to Barry Powell's out there at Rochester, the game between the Tigers and the Magpies. Thank you, Barry.
This quarter's been dominated by Euroa. Euroa are leading at the 24-minute mark, 14-13, 97 to Rochester, 6 goals, 6-42. Euroa's class has just started to show in this third quarter, and they're proving far too strong for the young Rochester side at this moment. Thank you.
Barry Powell's there at Rochester, the game against Euroa. The action here at Deakin Reserve, just 2 points separating the sides. United, the home side, leading by 2.
And the Demons have certainly lifted, and so too is this man, their coach Hazelman, who bursts out from the pack. He's dropped what he should have taken. This will allow Kendall at half-back to steady things for the Cats. He dishes one over the top there to Dan Collier. Collier kicks a bouncing ball for the safety of the boundary line, but he'll go in and actually get it himself. He socketed it off the ground, but he socketed it out on the full. So a free kick to the Demons, and as I put the glasses on, it is Hazelman again, out just below the HW Greenham and Sons scoreboard, which reads the Demons in front by 2 points, and the coach kicks them into attack. It's a big high ball looking for Fories. Takes a ripper of a grab on the 50-metre arc, Nipper.
I was just going to mention before, Potts, there was an indiscretion that gave Flores a kick behind play, and he did miss the goal, but that gave him his first kick in a long time. And since that, he's got a taste of it, and now he's starting to come into the game. And if he fires for this last 30 or 40 minutes, United could get at the top here of Mooroopna.
Well, it will be the difference, because for those of you who've just joined us, Matt Fories, dominant last week, has just been in the wilderness today, and it's only in the last 5 minutes, and not coincidentally that the Demons have hit the front, and Matt Fories has put his stamp on the game. Can he kick another goal? He has missed to the near side. It was a long raking kick, but through for one behind. Big build-up, Potsy. And as we go for another score check to Alan Lanyon at the Tatura and Echuca game. Go ahead, Alan.
Score here at Tatura is 3 goals, 7-25 to Tatura, 10 goals, 9-69 to Echuca. Tatura have only scored 3 points since quarter time, and Echuca are starting to win the ball across the middle through Josh Maddox and Brad Smith, and look comfortably in control of this game.
Thank you very much, Alan Lanyon out there at Tatura. Let's go Bandry side. Christy Piker as the Cats go into attack.
First change for the second half for United, with Michael Barlow going on and Travis Eddy, the captain, going off for a spell.
Thank you, Christy Piker. As Joffa Vandermeer, is it? No, in fact, it's Learmonth has the ball, kicks forward to his side's advantage. The player there was Mellington, spilt what he should have taken, and it will be United taking it away from half-back. Kick into space is going to find McClarty, who's been a forward of an effective nature earlier in the game. He kicks to side bottom at right half forward. He's taken to ground. The ball spills. Here go the Cats. They take it away through the agency of that young player in Kendall, who's been pretty good today. He tries to get it away from half-back, but he can't get a clearing possession. The ball still in contest as Smith pops it out to his teammates' advantage. Oh, here's a shot on goal by United. The kick towards the goal square is starting right and also ending there. So through for another behind, and United move along to 11-9-75. Mooroopna 11-5-71. 4 points separate the two sides. We've gone 23 minutes on the HW Greenham and Sons scoreboard time clock.
and it was a great kick out to find a lawyer at half-back flank. Travelled all of 55. He dished it off quickly. The Cats are up there searching to get inside 50, but Demons have numbers, although Jared Best trapped at Best, and then he swung it in the direction of Balraj Singh, who can wait at the back of the pack, though. Demons are there in numbers. Coolest hand passes to himself, now paddles for the boundary line, and he finds it, and over the line and out of bounds. As we go for another score check down to Princess Park down the road, where Reg Dickinson has an update on the Swans and Shepparton. Go ahead, Reg.
Okay, Shep Swans 12 goals 8, 80 points to Shepparton Bears 9 goals 16, 70. And it was a big fight back that third quarter by the Shepparton Bears. Shep Swans just came to a standstill, and fortunately for Shep Swans, the Bears kicked pretty badly, and they still got themselves back in the game, but there goes the siren now for the start of the fourth quarter.
At Deakin Reserve, it is 4 points separating the two sides. United leading 75 to 71. The free kick paid to big Balraj Singh, 45-degree angle. The ball was trapped underneath a number of players, Nipper, and the umpire deemed that the United boys had the responsibility of clearing it. They didn't. Was there much in it?
One of those ones where you're trying to get it out and you can't get it out of there, and couldn't be in better hands than this big fella. I think he's probably kicked 6 straight so far today.
He has indeed, and if there was a 50 marked on the ground, he'd be walking right between the 5 and the 0 as he comes in now. He steps up from 45 degrees. It's not a clean kick off the boot, but it is travelling beautifully straight over the goal umpire's hat, and there is his 7th straight major of the day, and that brings the Mooroopna crowd to their feet. They move along to 12-5-77. They recapture the lead. It's the 4th lead change we've had this game. Shep United 11-9-75. It is a game befitting the match of the day status, Nipper.
It's a great game, and it's yeah, that was a bit of a lucky one to Mooroopna, but that reminded me of Craig Pottery's best. That ball did not spin one little bit. It just floated through the air, and it floated straight. So Gillespie's done a great job on Balraj Singh since he's gone down there, but he'd be disappointed in that one, that a free kick got him his 7th.
Cowman won it decisively down to Hazelman. Very clean takeaway as the Demons go forward from the return to the centre. Side bottom, paddles it for his teammate there in Smith. Smith can't offload, and they pounce upon it, and there will be a ball up centre half forward for the Demons as we go down for Nalinga Steel to Christy Piker.
Yeah, just an observation here from the boundary line. The crowd has really lifted in this last sort of 5 or 10 minutes or so. A lot of sort of taunts and shouts from both sides, which is making the game quite exciting down here, Craig.
Nothing like a good taunt and a shout to make your Saturday afternoon, Christy, and as from the restart we see another secondary ball up take place. The Demons looking to answer that Balraj Singh goal as comes out, and there are a couple of outriders, and one of them's Matt Fories, who does the roving work and casts aside a couple of Mooroopna Cats and pumps it through with the left foot. So Matt Fories with his 2nd goal, and you're right, Nipper, he's got a sniff of it now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's lifted. He was very determined then, wasn't he? He knew where he was going, and he barged through that pack and kicked his 2nd. Young Connolly's done a good job on him so far, but he's lifted. That's probably his 4th or 5th kick in the space for the last 10 minutes. Shep United are dominating the clearances here, and I've got right on top of Mooroopna. The 2 Campbells just gone a little bit quiet.
They have, and they'll have to respond because they trail by 4 points. The lead changing hands again here at Deakin Reserve. Match of the day. Advantage is paid for Sean Robbins. So the Cats on the march now. They kick inside 50. Too big for the player there in Balraj Singh to trap it. And a pack of players, in fact, usher the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in. 12-8, 12-9-81 United, 12-5-77. And we're deep into time on in this 3rd term, Wes.
Yes, it's a ripping contest. 45 metres away from the Cats' goal. Big Balraj does the ruck work, wins it down with the little backhander, but he wins it down to a United player. Now here go the Cats through the agency of one of their midfielders in Mellington. His kick is finding Balraj, who's probably a little too far out to score, kicking to the western end here at Deakin. He's 55 metres from home. He kicks to the hot spot. He's got a couple of targets, but United get numbers back, and they take the mark in that aerial duel. The mark taken on that occasion by Godsmark, who's been quite prominent today at different times. His little kicks going straight up the corridor. He had options there, and he found one, and that player was Barlow, who goes with the looping handball out to the advantage of Smith. He runs. He'll be run down, but gets his kick away in time. Goes towards Eddie, doing the crumbing his side bottom. He ducks and weaves Reeves tries to evade the tackle, caught high, called the play on. That's what Potsy was referring to, and eventually the umpire will call for it as there's a bit of niggle, a bit of push and shove off the footy. But I reckon Nipper, the man in white up here, Craig Potter, called that one correctly. No free kick. Tyson, you dropped your head.
Yeah, he did duck. He did get a little bit higher, 50-50, but we'll go with the umpire on that one.
You got plenty of head-eye tackles in your day, Nipper.
Yeah, they were meant to be around the waist, Potts, and still hit me in the head.
And the crowd is coming to life here at Deakin Reserve as we're awaiting the siren for three-quarter time. 4 points the margin, and don't worry, there's history between these two clubs as they're playing for the Hovey Shield, and both sides really wanting to take it home today in front of their arch enemy. United and Marupna have played off in quite a few big epic battles over the years, a few grand finals, and Robert Osborne stands tall, half-back flank. They're cheering everything here at Deakin at the moment as the Cats are just, teammates are just saying, just settle it down, Aussie, and just take the kick, and there's the siren. So it's three-quarter time here at Deakin Reserve. It is a match-befitting match of the round, round 2 in the Goulburn Valley Football League, and 4 points the Demons lead by. United 12-9, 81. Marupna 12 goals, 5, 77.
We'll head back to this.
Been playing pretty well for his side there today. Here's a chance now. Braden Reid, he couldn't get the ball taken by Mark Clayton.
The key players that you're going to be looking to bring this game home?
I think we're just going to work harder in the midfield and get into our forwards, and they'll do the work for us. At the moment, they're a little bit frustrated because our delivery in's probably not as good as what it should be. So if we can get on top of that, hopefully we can kick a winning score.
Not a worries. Well, good luck for the rest of the game. From the Marupna huddle, very composed over there. They're basically, Peter White just sort of said there was a few too many spectators that quarter, but the whole side was actually really pumped there and ready to go, so this should be a cracking last quarter.
Thank you very much, Christy Piker, courtesy of Nalinga Steel. Let's go now to Greg Liddell, who has a score from the TAC Cup game between the Rebels and the Bushies. Greg Liddell, bring it on.
In game 2 of the triple header, Murray Bush Rangers are trailing 3-3-21 to North Ballarat Rebels 11-6-72. The better players for the Bush Rangers, Brad Collins is doing a sterling job. Daniel Ball's battling hard, but the North Ballarat Rebels are far too big and strong in the air and controlling the airways. Just repeating those scores, North Ballarat at half-time are 11-6-72 to the Bush Rangers 3-3-21. This has been Greg Liddell for 98.5 FM Sport.
Fourth quarter underway here at Deakin Reserve. It's United continuing to lead by 4 points. So here's Craig Potter with the fourth quarter action.
Yes, Robert Smith it was with the ball for the Demons. His kick was chopped off by the player in Tremelin for the Cats, who does a bit of nifty footwork and evades a little bit of trouble, but the Demons went out. Smith went in after it again. The Cats, though, turn it over. Here's Norman, who decides to kick left foot, and in fact the boundary umpire said he was out of bounds. In any case, that's probably a pretty good result for Carl Norman, because he was about to have the ball turned over. And a boundary throw-in below our commentary position. Nipper Harvey, who do you think played well in that third quarter, and what do you think of those comments there with Christie?
Oh, look, I thought Kendall was very good again for Marupna. I thought Hazeman lifted really well for Shep United, and yeah, look, this is going to go down to the wire at the moment. You can't see a side that's going to burst away.
Yeah, and Christie talking with Richard Warburton there about the midfield. I mean, that is really where this game's going to be won and lost.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Look, Shep United did lift and got on top in the midfield, where they really fell down in that second quarter. So, yeah, they can continue that midfield dominance. They're a chance, because Fours has picked up, and another 50 given for some reason gives United a chance to kick away to a 10-point lead.
Well, the ball is in the hands of young Ash Round, who was a standout performer for Shep United in the under-18 competition last year. He had possession of the ball on centre wing, immediately in front of us in the commentary position, but he's been afforded a 50-metre penalty. The player coming off there was Kane Boyer, the offender, and now Ash Round will have a shot on goal. No real angle to speak of. 30 metres out. He steps up now. He kicks for goal to the western end. His kick is drifting across the face and through from behind. And Nipper, they need to score goals like that playing at senior level.
Yeah, that was a gimme. That was only about 25 metres out, and he should have kicked kick that to put pressure on Marupna, but now they're only 5 points down, and here they come.
12-10-82 United leading the Cats 12-5-77.
As Jeff Vandermeer, the veteran of the Cats lineup, kicks down the line for Robert Osborne, and he finds him in between the interchange lanes below our commentary position here at Deakin Reserve. It's 5 points to margin. The Demons lead by 5. The Cats trying to get the lead back again. It's shaping up as some sort of epic here at Deakin, as coming back forward again, the United players get it inside 50. Do they? Round paddles it for the safety of the boundary line because he had 3 Cats on his tail, and he'll have a boundary throw in. We've been playing 5 minutes. HW Greenham & Sons scoreboard. United lead by 5 points. 12 goals. 10, is that? 12 goals, 10. Yep. 82 to 12 goals, 577.
Yes, ball thrown in 55 metres around from the United goal. The free kick for a ruck infringement. It will go the way of Jake Cowman, and he'll have a shot. In fact, it might be Travis Eddy going back for the kick right now. We'll just spot that up. No, in fact, it is Cowman, as I first thought. And, well, Nipper, you might have had a better view of that one than me.
No, just one of those ones where they both went up and tangle of arms and bodies, and Cowman did go to the ground holding his head, though, so there must have been some high contact.
And he got up a little gingerly, but he's got the kick now. 55 metres out from goal. He won't go for the goals. He'll go to the hot spot. He'll kick now in the hope of a mark. The big leap from in front was by Scott, but he was too small a player to haul it in. The ball comes out to Alloy. The man of steel bursts his way through the middle for the Marupna side, and a good one-handed mark taken on that occasion by Paul Neville. Now, he can set his side up here as he goes inside 50. It's a 2-on-1 situation with the crumbing to be done by United, but good clever effort by Robbins to lock it in. Gets it across to a teammate there in Best. Best goes to the right, then kicks onto the left. He's got Balraj as the target, edges his opponent forward, and then takes the mark for the Cats at the top of the square. And Big Balraj will go back from directly in front, about 15 metres out, and should slot through his 8th for the game. Nipper, he has been a game breaker today.
He certainly has. He's been the difference, and just a huge man up in there. It was a great kick by Jared Best again. He's very good at Jared Best of getting the football, pumping it into the forward line as quick as he can.
And Godsmark that was playing on him should have known he was going to go double back onto his left foot. He just got sucked in there because Best was never going to continue on that run.
One-sided player.
Oh, look, Jared gets out of trouble on his right, but he's going to swing back on his left like most do. And yeah, Godsmark and Potsy was on the ball there. He should have cornered him to make him kick on the right.
Well, here he comes. Big Balraj Singh. He's kicked 7 straight. Make that 8 straight for today. His side take the lead by 1 point at the 5-minute mark of the 4th and final term. Marupna 13-5-82. Shep United 12-10. In fact, 83, and Shep United 12-10-82. Let's go back to the studio for Goulburn Valley Football League scores from around the grounds at 3/4 time.
Benalla is leading 12-8-80 in front of Seymour, which is 10-8-68. Mansfield are leading 9-14-68 as to Kai Abram 8-7-65. Rochester and Euroa is leading 14-11-93, and Rochester is 6-7-43. Shepparton Swans are leading at 12-8-80, and Shepparton is 9-16-70. Tatura Echuca match. Echuca are winning by 10-9-69, and Tatura is 3-7-25. And back to you guys.
1 point here at Deakin Reserve with the Cats holding that advantage 83-82. Let's go boundary side very quickly for Nalinga Steel. It's Christy Piker.
Yes, Gemmell off the ground, and Kane Boyer coming on.
Thanks for that, Christy. Well, we've got the close one here at Deakin Reserve, just a point the difference as we approach the 10-minute mark on the HW Greenham & Sons scoreboard. Ball is at centre-half forward for the Cats. It's pretty hard to get a possession in there at the moment. There's Alloy, though. Dished off a slick hand pass to Blake Campbell. Bouncing ball went through 4A behind, and the Cats extend their lead out to 2 points now, Nipper.
Very impressive with Alloy. He's a hard worker. He does look a little bit bulky, but he's a very strong player, and he's very good with his hands. Yeah, extremely good with his hands, and has got a bit of a thumping kick on him as well, but his work rate and his fitness is obviously pretty good. It defies his shape, I suppose you could say, Nipper. So very well put, Potsy.
As the ball comes back into play, it was a player in round for the Demons at centre-half, at the centre of the ground. Gave it to Sidebottom. Sidebottom's kick, though, didn't have much on it because he was tackled as he kicked, but Gil Martin's there, and Gil Martin can kick to centre-half half forward, and look for Travis Eddy. A deft touch there by Tremellin though, and a good tackle on Stephen Scott. And isn't he having a shocker of a day from the umpires? Pinged with the ball, said the umpire, and free kick to Kendall.
Yeah, poor Scott, he just can't take a trick at the moment. This Kendall continues to be very impressive for Marupna.
The kick from the Cats comes out wide to Osborne on the commentary side of the ground. We'll go boundary side to Christy Piker in a moment. Kicks towards Robbins from behind, off the United hands, I would have thought, but nonetheless Robbins is being paid the mark. His side lead by 2. He kicks long to the goal square. He's got big Balraj back there. Oh, he's taken the ground. Was there a free kick? Yes, it was. Oh, the United boys have their heads in their hands. A sign of exasperated frustration as big Balraj Singh will go back and line up for his 9th goal. He has booted 8 straight. Let's very quickly go boundary side for Nalinga Steel.
Yes, Halford on and Robbie Smith off for United.
Well, Nipper, you had a good look at that one.
Yeah, I think it was there. I think he went to ground, but Gillespie went with him, and I think he did put the hands around the waist. But when you're on a roll, the umpires will get with you, and I think it was there. But Robbins and Osborne have lifted for Marupna.
Yeah, Robbins has, yeah.
Osborne's gone to the ruck, and he's giving him a little bit, and Robbins around the half-forward line's lifted as well.
Cats lead by 2, 13-6 to 12-10 as Balraj Singh comes in. Rumoured to be moving to Tatura over the course of summer. Not to be, as he is turning out in the blue and white horizontal hoops again this season. He comes in now, Gillespie on the mark. Balraj steps around. He kicks on goal to the eastern end, and he makes no mistake. He slots through his 9th, and after booting 6-7 last week, he has been on song today, and he has kicked 9 straight, which is a very, very impressive effort. Nipper Harvey.
9 goals out of 14, and there is just one player making the difference in this game. Other than that, it's all very, very even. You could even say that Sheffield United are probably on top in all parts of the game, apart from that man down there who has kicked 9 goals, and that's the reason why Marupna are in front.
Yes, sing on song. I like that, Wes. Sing on song, and he certainly has been on song today. He's booted that ball right out of the ground, and we just have a little bit of a delay while we wait for it. But, well, Marupna with the momentum now. 8 points to margin, Wes.
Yes, we've got Paul Cox online now. The game between Seymour and Benalla looked like it was going to go right down to the wire. So, Paul, what is the update score from the 4th term down there at Seymour Benalla?
Yes, boys, we've got the close one here. Seymour 11-8-74, Trail Benalla 12-8-80 in what is a fantastic game of football.
Well, that comes as no surprise. Thank you very much, Paul Cox, providing that score for us. 2 terrific sides. As we've got a terrific game here, the game sees Marupna leading by 8, 90-82 on the HW Greenham & Sons scoreboard. Craig Potter.
As the ball, a big pack of players throw themselves over this ball, and the umpire calls for a secondary ball up. And, well, we're approaching the 15-minute mark of this final term here. These 2 long-time rivals, Marupna and Shepparton United, they go at it. The ball is paddled in the Tyson side-bottom direction, but mopped up well by Boyer, who is happy to atone for his indiscretion there earlier. Out in the Brad Campbell direction, he was almost pinged with it, and mopped up now by Boyer, and the Cats seemingly in control as they hand pass their way around the perimeter of Deakin Reserve.
Yes, the Cats go inside 50 again, but it's United getting hands to the footy. They've got the numbers back there. Can they clear? We'll just keep with the play for a few moments, then we've got some KDL scores around the grounds as the Cats take possession. Alloy it is it perhaps across the best? It was the ball off hands. You might have spotted them better than I, Nipper, as the Cats added behind. In fact, it was Blake Campbell, and they move along to 14-7-91 United, 12-10-82. Let's go to the KDL around the ground scores with Stuart Mann.
Round 3, Kyabram District Football League scores this afternoon. 3/4 time scores at Rushworth. Rushworth 19 goals 12, 126. Leading Avenel. Avenel 3 goals 4, 22. Across here at Yea 14 goals 10, 94. Leading Talligarubna 11 goals 12, 78. Over at Nagambie, Ardmona 17 goals 11, 113, leading Nagambie 4 goals 10, 34. Across at Undera, Stanhope 14 goals 7, 91, leading Undera 14 goals 125. Over at Violet Town 11 goals 12, 78, leading Merrigham 7 goals 13, 55. Across across at Kagari. 5 goals 5, 35. With Lancaster 10 goals 8, 68. These scores this afternoon brought to you by Kai General Engineering, specialties in screw pumps. This has been Stewie Mann for FM 98.5 Sport.
Thank you very much, Stewie Mann. The margin 9 points enjoyed by the Cats. But let's go to Mansfield, where they play Kyabram with Graham Smith and a report score.
Yeah, at the moment, Kyabram have gained the momentum, and they've taken the lead into the last quarter. It's been going about 10 minutes. And Mansfield have dragged the chain a little bit and lost their run momentum, and Kyabram have hit their straps, and they're really running at this stage, and they've gone to a couple of goal lead at the 12-minute mark. Yeah.
Well, that game not going the way that I anticipated. What sort of judge am I? Scott on the burst from 45, 40, closing on goal. His kick on goal is a ripper. Eddie the target. No, McClarty up there. The ball shuffled over the line for a rush behind by the Cats defenders, and the margin is shaved back to just 8 points as Shep United move along to 12-11-83. They trail the Cats 14-7-91.
As, about to bring the ball back in, but umpire not finished waving the flags, perhaps, as we have it brought back by the Central.
Let's go boundary side for Nalinga Steel.
Righto, thanks Wes. It was a change for United a little while ago with Robbie Smith coming back on and Ashley Round taking a spell on the bench.
Thanks very much for that, Christy, as the Cats prepare to kick in. Just 8 points separating these two sides. It's been the Demons jumped out of the blocks. The Cats got back into it second quarter. They seemed to dominate the third, but then United got back in the second half. So the stage has been set, and it's now with United needing to mow down this 8-point deficit, and I tell you what, they're perilously close to doing that. The Cats in all sorts of bother coming out of defence, and there's a number of Demons around this ball. Sean Robbins has 3 to beat. Can the Demons win out with the numbers? Robbins does pretty well to hold it up, and we will have a ball up centre wing, and you can hear the crowd here at Deakin Reserve in full voice as these two sides, the tension mounts.
Good effort by Sean Robbins there. He was outnumbered, but he desperation did it well. They didn't get caught holding the ball. He just kept pushing it out into legs, and good effort by him.
Well, it's a day of close games. Let's go to Princes Park now for the game between Swans and Shepparton. Reg Dickinson with around the ground score.
Yeah, we've got Dankovic for Shep Swans lining up for goal at the moment, which would give Shep Swans a pretty good lead, and it looks like he's kicked it. Yep, he's kicked the goal. So the score goes now to Shep Swans 16 goals 12, they're 108, to Shepparton 10 goals 18, 78. So Shep Swans have kicked away in this last quarter.
Okay, back here at Deakin Reserve, it's 12-11-83 United, trailing Mooroopna 14-7-91, although you probably wouldn't know because the guys on the scoreboard are standing in front of the scores as a downfield free kick is paid, and it will go the way of United. They want to play on, but the umpire has disallowed it and said that, no, you must come back for that shot on goal. So just a request there that the boys over there in front of the scoreboard here at Deakin move away from the scores so that the crowd can actually see that this very close game with just 8 points separating the two sides. McClarty with a shot on goal and should narrow the margin even further, Nipper.
Yeah, another one downfield, so McClarty should kick his fourth, which he does not, I don't think.
He has missed it to the right, and boy, oh boy, when the game is there to be won, you've got to kick those goals. The margin shaved back by 1. It's now 7 points as we go to boundary side to Christie for Nalinga Steel.
Aaron Gilmartin's just come off with an injury. I think it's an ankle injury. He's just hobbling a little bit. Going back on to replace him is Michael Barlow.
Thanks very much, Christy, for that. And the Cats hemmed into the back pocket at the moment. You sense the pressure is on Mooroopna at the moment because they're just trying to play safe, and the Demons are looking like wanting to win it. Here's Learmonth, though, for the Cats. Oh, beautiful pass it was, too. Found Kendall running around centre wing. And Jeff Vandermeer's going to lurk at the back for this ball. Vandermeer is there now. Oh, he spilt what he should have taken. This will allow Shermer in the box seat for the Demons. And Shermer clears. Comes out to Hazelman. Hazelman on defensive 50. 50-metre arc. Pops one up for Travis Eddy. The Demons are looking like they're going for broke here at Deakin, and they need to. Here's Tyson Sidebottom. Will run inside 50. Will have to elude an opponent. No, he elects to kick, and it was probably a poor option because coming out and marking it was Laporta.
Yes, good defensive work by the Cats. They have it at last line, and they go by hand now through Collier. Collier goes up the corridor. He finds a teammate there in Learmont. Learmont's handball, a looping one to Canali, provided enormous pressure to a teammate. Eventually through Alloy, they go to the scoreboard side of the ground. Now on the burst is Tremellin. Tremellin can send them inside 50, but he goes very deep into the pocket, and he finds Big Balraj Singh on the lead. And we've got some around the ground scores coming in just a moment, but we'll stay with this kick from Balraj Singh. He has booted 9 already today, 9 straight, mind you, and he is kicking to the eastern end here at Deakin Reserve. His side already leading by 7 points, 91-84. 18 minutes have ticked over.
Gary Learmont's been very good for 4 quarters. He just keeps racking up possessions through the middle there. He just gets little handballs out and little chip kicks and virtually roamed around. He's still standing out here by himself as we speak, virtually unmanned for most of the day, and he's racked up some possessions, Learmont.
Well, we've got Alan Lanyon online in a moment. We'll take him and the score from Tatura in a few moments as Balraj Singh tied up against the boundary. Very acute angle. And it's going to be a tough ask this. He sets it up nice and high. It might not even carry the distance. It's punched over the line by Jake Cowman. And boy, does that ruin his record, Potsy? I don't know. Does that make it 9-1, or we just call it a rush behind?
Call it a rush behind, I'd say.
As we go to
be kind to him.
Alan Lanyon with Marupna leading by 8 points, but Alan Lanyon at Tatura for a report score from there.
Yes, here at Tatura Park, there's only a couple of minutes to go, and Echuca have got the game wrapped up. They're 10 goals in front. They lead 14 goals, 13-97 to Tatura, 4 goals, 10-34.
Okay, thank you very much, Alan, with that report score. And we also have Sue Church from the Cola and District Football League with an Around the Grounds wrap-up. Thank you, Sue.
Okay, this is Sue Church from the Cola Football Netball League with thanks from Padman Stop Strathmerton for 3-quarter times. Cola United 15-12-98 to Berrigan 2-3-15. Denny Rovers 11-6-72 to Yarrawee 10-9-69. Shep East 16-12-108 to Tungama 7-6-48. Katandra 14-10-94 to Waiai 6-4-40. Katunga 14-8-92 to Katamatite 5-5-35. Blighty at 17-10-112 to Wanyu 7-8-50. Strathmerton 11-14-80 to Dookie United 12-7-79. Massara have the bye. This is Sue Church from Bacola Football Netball League with thanks from Padman Stop Strathmerton. Thank you.
8 points the difference here at Deakin Reserve still as we approach time on, and the Demons needing to get something going as they trail by 8 at Deakin. Chasing down the Cats is Travis Eddy. Kicks across the 50-metre arc. Gillespie was caught, and this allowed Neville in for the Cats. It comes down. No, a number of Demons put the pressure on, that being Gillespie again. Travis Eddy's there. He has an option to play on. He gives it over the top there to a teammate in Dawes. Dawes, though, had it chopped off, and here come the Cats again through the player Learmont you mentioned before, Nipper.
A bit of over handball there from Shep United in the last 5 minutes. They've had a few chances to get it down there, but looking for that extra handball. Marupna putting the pressure on. There's only 6 or 7 minutes to go, Potsy. Let's get it down in that goal square and see what we can do.
I think the captain, even Trav Eddy, probably should have just pumped it long, but it's with the Cats now, and here's a player in Tremellin. Tremellin kicks it into space for Singh, got a little bit too far underneath it. Good work though, the Demons. Here's Jared Best, that's almost a throw. No, said the umpire. Play on, good tackling there by Godsmark, and he will win the free kick for the Demons, and Godsmark left his opponent gobsmacked. And a 50-metre penalty. Well, that's about the 11th 50-metre penalty for the day. And this will take the Demons from defence onto centre wing and a chance to kick inside 50.
That could be 100, Potsy. I think that could be 2 50s.
Oh, okay. So it looks like it. It certainly is. So the defender will have a shot on goal. In fact, when umpire Hughes stops, he stops at the 35-metre mark. So 35 metres from goal after a good tackle in defence. Now it is Godsmark. Am I correct? I still haven't seen his number yet.
I think it is, yep.
Yep, so Godsmark with the ball. This will test him, Nipper.
Yeah, very important kick. Look, they've missed 2 or 3 of these in this last quarter. They need to kick this to give themselves a chance. 2-point ball game after this if he puts it through.
Right foot kick by Godsmark. It's spinning pretty well. It's straight through the middle, and the Demons get the goal that they're after. So next goal just about wins, fellas.
I think so. If Merton to get one, Potsy, that could be it. Shep United get one. It's going to be half Merton to the peg back with this home crowd roaring for them, but it's been a fantastic game right down to the wire.
Right down to the wire, so it's 2 points to difference here at Deakin Reserve. You've just joined us. United 13-12-80, Maripna 13-12-90, Maripna 14-8-92.
Another game going right down to the wire is the clash between the Lions and the Saints at Seymour. Let's go to Paul Cox for a report score.
Yes, we've got a great game here. There's only 1 point in it. Seymour 13-8-86 to Benalla 13-9-87.
Thank you very much, Paul Cox, down there at Seymour. Shot a lot playing for the Lions and, well, some other injury concerns for the respective sides. But here at Deakin, it's Marupna leading by 2, 92-90. The takeaway is going to be with United, courtesy of a free kick in the middle of Deakin Reserve. Now, we've gone 23 minutes on the time clock. The kick comes out wide and spots up a player there in Gillespie. Gillespie goes to ground, but the umpire says, no, we're not going to let the 50 metres happen now. And they've got lots of numbers forward, United, and one of those is on the left half-forward flank. The good mark taken by Scotty, plays on immediately. He kicks the ball sky high. Who's going to take the grab? The big leap from behind was Fories. Taking it, the crumbing at the back of the pack was the Cats. Immediately wrapped up right on the
He could have.
Of the goal square, and the umpire will intervene and call for a ball up, and the last man off the ground was Luke LeBrock, wearing number 74 down the stretch after getting blood on the jumper early. The ball, the takeaway now with the Cats, although locked up in the tackle by the United forwards, and eventually the umpire will call for a secondary ball up. It is 14-8-92, the Cats leading United 13-12-90. United have certainly had their chances this quarter, but they've only booted the one major. As an opportunity now stems from the takeaway. Scott gets the looping handball out to the advantage of Barlow, misses his target. Here's an opportunity for the Cats to clear through Learmont. Learmont can't get a clean possession away. They're conceding ground, United, but they will take possession, and through Hazelman kick the ball forward. Oh, the mark almost taken. What can the Cats do at half-back? Can they take it away? No, they can't, because United gained possession through that player in Barlow. Here's kick towards the advantage of McClarty. McClarty grabbed the player that didn't have the footy, but the umpire calls play on. He in turn is grabbed. Surely the umpire will ball it up. Yes, he will. And will, with 35 metres separating the ball from the United goal, it's the Cats leading by 2. We have an around the ground score. Let's go to that score right now. Thank you. Around the ground score. Back here at Deakin for the ball is on the right half-back flank. The Cats it is through the agency of Gary Learmont, and he finds a teammate further afield.
And he kicks it down the throat of Brad Campbell out on centre wing, just below the HW Greenham & Sons scoreboard, which reads the Cats in front by 2 points. Brad Campbell looks for Tremellin. It was a little bit too hot for him, but he did well with the second effort. Tremellin gets up after a heavy bump. Umpire calls play on. Boundary umpire says he was out of bounds. So we will have a throw-in right half forward for the Cats, and we'll quickly go to Graham Smith at Mansfield for a score update. Graham.
Yes, at this stage, Kyabram have turned a form reversal around in the last quarter, and they've running right away with the game at the moment. They're 16-10 to 10-17. They've kicked about 6 goals in the last quarter, and Mansfield have stopped, and it's just taking control, so it looks like it's going to be a Kyabram victory here today.
Thanks very much, Graham. Okay, thank you very much for that, Graham. We'll get that final score back to the studio in our wrap-up later on. And back here at Deakin Reserve, 2 points to difference, and Stan Koulis in the last line of defence for the Demons with the ball at the moment. And they need to get it moving. They're running out of time, the Demons, and going back with it. A good mark almost taken, not paid to Travis Eddy. Play on to the umpire. Tremellin got a kick in, looked up in the Sean Robbins direction. Robbins over the back of the pack. Robbins went back for it, and a head-high tackle. We'll see a free kick to the Demons, and it'll be Sherman with the ball now Wes.
Shermer brings it away, or does he? Yes, he does eventually get the handball out to the advantage of Dawes, who's been pretty mobile in the second half. The kick from United comes out to the commentary wing. Almost a good mark taken on that occasion by that player there in Godsmark, but the ball comes to ground. Now Godsmark has it. He's got teammates further afield, but he needs to spot one that's got a little bit of space in which to move. He deceived himself by going one way, then the other. He is dispossessed of the footy, and a good tackle by the Cats will see the free kick go the way of Gary Learmonth. So Learmonth has the ball at left half forward. His side leading by 2 points. 27 minutes gone in this fourth term. He plays on, and Godsmark needs to be a little bit more accountable, and watch the mark there. His kick is travelling only so far as a United defender, and the mark is taken at half back by Nathan Bovolino.
Well, the last go, I think, here, Potts.
Yeah, will have to be too, and United really sent all their troops back then, so they really don't have anyone forward of the centre. Gillespie's there, but two Cats are there as well. Boyer, he's met hard and solidly too by the Demons, and the umpire said illegally, so Boyer with the free kick, and it looks like the Cats will cling hold here at Deakin. They're 2 points in front, time's ticking away, and Boyer will certainly take plenty of his time as he's centre wing with the ball at the moment. Not many Demons forward, they're actually gone backwards, so Boyer goes backwards now, and they have been instructed to chew up the clock, and that's exactly what they'll do, as I think it's Tremelin it might be with the ball. A bit hard to say. It is Tremelin, yes. And right foot kick, he goes down the line towards the scoreboard here at Deakin. Robbins dropped what he should have taken. Demons have possession. They might still be a sniff, but a pack of players there going after it, jogging up and down on the spot is that big man for United. He's tackled, and tackled too high. So a free kick the Demons, and it's the number 14 of Nathan Bovolino. Gives it back to Dawes, but it's all the Cats back there at centre half back.
Yeah, getting numbers behind the ball United means they don't have many options to kick to, and it's the Cats on the rebound. Good two-way football by them. Via LeBrock, they go to Singh. Singh's got space in which to move. They just, well, amble after the footy. He wasn't all that interested in really getting first to it, but Dawes equally so was quite happy to see it go out. So it's out over the boundary line for a throw-in, right forward pocket for the Cats. They lead by 2, 92 plays 90. We've gone 29 minutes on the time clock. Here's an opportunity for the Cats. No, took too long to get rid of the footy on that occasion, Big Belraj, and United will have it on the last line.
And it kicks out into the direction here of Ashley Round over his head, and he can't keep it in, so ball in.
Hazelman's proppy.
Yeah. Well, he's done a lot of running, and he's tried to get his troops into it. He did in that third quarter, but there's the siren. And so the Cats win a titanic struggle here at Deakin Reserve by 2 points. Final score, Marupna 14-8, 92. United 13-12, 90.